Recording start. Last time we started to participate in an unwinnable siege. We watched the demise of most every notable person in the Atzenale family, other than Roderick, who is hopefully out of harm's way somewhere.
And Rurik.
Rurik, haven't seen his body, but he does typically hang around here.
Right, but you specifically mentioned that we haven't seen his body.
You haven't seen his body. I would have brought it up. And then what else? Amalia turned the tables on Jidek quite handedly, procured his much larger, stranger materia that kind of gave off a weird sort of feeling. The emissary that was beckoning the drowned king from the portion of the dream that you guys had been venturing through earlier in the week completed its manifestation and slew Calliope, as well as Virgil, who had an encounter with an entity that had not yet been met, back on the frozen lake where they had acquired power through touching some spheres on some pedestals. This entity was not very amused by them being slain, seemed to make an example out of Calliope before Virgil was... we'll get to that. Either way, I'm not going to use the battle map for where you guys just were anymore, because that combat is functionally ended. You guys are currently standing in front of one of the ruined buildings of the Atzenalian estate. Jidek's corpse is in front of you, with its anchor buried deeply into his shoulder. Albus, you tried to keep up the defensive front with quite a bit of success in terms of you, the Danger Plant, and Catherine. Amalia, you're feeling quite spent, but doing better, hopefully, than Virgil is right now.
I'm at full health.
Alright, is Virgil... Whose corpse would I see first from where I look?
You see down the way, down the hill in front of you, past all the barricades that have been shattered through, past the rubble of the Atzenalian buildings, and some portions of the construction from the dream that have been propped up on the hillside as defense against this siege. You see Calliope's form lying still. You feel a compulsion to go check for vital signs, but something in the back of your mind tells you to expect the worst.
But I don't see Virgil?
You do not see Virgil at all. Last you saw Virgil, some black energy had exploded out of the curse lantern that was replaced in front of his heart by the emissary, and it lashed out and enveloped him and then consumed him, and he vanished entirely.
But I do see Jamiel is dead.
And Jamiel is lying also still
I should have given her my reroll.
next to a panic-stricken horse.
You gave your reroll to, like...
Yeah, we used all the rerolls last time.
Dang it. Anyway, she goes out... VC just screams in anger.
Do you want to go down and check him?
Yeah.
Alright, so Catherine, you mosey over to... Not mosey is definitely not the right word. You make your way over to the path that was barricaded off, and you meander your way through much of the broken wood that had been shattered by Jidek's anchor. The first one you get to is in Jamiel, and she's still warm, but there are several sucking wounds in her torso. There's too many missiles lodged in her arms. There's a vacancy to her eyes. She's gonna be gone real soon.
But she's not quite dead.
She's at the point where you can have a few last words with her, but you're not gonna be able to bring her back.
Where are they? Where are the rest of them? What happened?
I, I, who is that? She, you see her just shudder a little bit as her arm underneath her, it seems like the one that she has a little more agency over, just kind of struggles to get free, to feel around for something.
Steve,
Oh, oh, you've been gone so long. And then your warnings. Oh, if I could have roused them sooner. If I could have built up more defenses. Gotten more of them to safety.
or where did you get them to safety?
I haven't even seen most of the rest of the estate. I don't know. It's likely that they all just ran. Just tried to save themselves. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Oceans. I have. And he's basically just like,
Are they still here?
Yep.
What was that crash?
dragon came here and then it got crashed by an airship. Here, like she's pouring, funny looking purple liquid.
So
on.
you're administering potions and
Yeah, it may not work from a plot perspective.
yeah, but yeah,
Flavor-wise, that's what I'm doing.
she's acquiescing, even if she might know about the futility of it. She also finally does manage to get her good arm free, and she just, through solidarity, just grasps at your hand with hers. You can feel her fingers are very shaky. You can almost sense her losing her motor control. Can you do me a favor?
Favor.
When I was rousing them, I couldn't find Rudolph. Please make sure he's safe.
We have him. He's
Oh.
alive.
Oh, thank God. And her grip on your hand tightens.
I don't know where the others went.
She just manages to shake her head. And probably precious few seconds after she does, you see a glassiness start to mask over her eyes. Turn you down.
And now I'm going
just a
around
bit.
frantically just looking at the corpses, identifying them.
Some of them are names you know, but if you want to be close to any of them, you can. I didn't really go out of my way to name these people.
Yeah, well,
So Amalia, you and Albus are standing at the crest of the hill. Virgil, Liss, watching as Kvi makes her way throughout the battlefield, turning over some corpses, moving from Atzenalian to Atzenalian, and then finally you see her reach Calliope's body. Roll medicine.
Regardless of
which
condition,
one of us rolls medicine? Me?
You.
Regardless of condition, Calliope's smiling like an idiot. Yep.
So so you bend over. One of his horns was almost snapped completely off. There's a whole bunch of blood running down his scalp, matting his hair together into this sickly crimson. There's a brokenness to his limbs, and you feel a lot of tender points where there shouldn't be in his torso. He's gone.
Horn guy is dead.
Amalia is going to walk over at that.
Do you follow Albus?
Guy is dead.
Follow.
And I don't know where the rest of them. I mean, one guy is dead, and now we have to find. Now,
He had a name, Kippy.
but I always called him Horn Guy. Sometimes. I mean, where's Virgil anyway?
I saw him like get vaporized. Yeah.
You are being hit by the same attack, so I'm not sure. Roll a retroactive perception check. Like you were dealing with fending off your own shadow grabby tendrils.
Passive 17, get it?
I guess so. Yeah, you would have seen like right after you successfully struggled through yours, his just picked him up and condensed into nothing. No trace.
Bruh.
As far as I could see, the shadow energy from the ghost. So I tried to get us both. Only managed one.
Well then we have to. Not Virgil. I don't.
And the biases come out.
Virgil can't be. No, he must. No, not on top of. No, no.
It's okay. Could be the doctor anyways.
Yeah, well, Virgil was the only person in the party that he really felt affection for.
It's fair.
What?
Oh, respected him for his mad scientist. Oh, look, Virgil. You have to find people.
So
Found.
pretty
Found
notably,
people.
pretty notably, like the reason this combat's functionally over is because a massive airship, huge, the one that was lying broken on its side out in the wilderness outside the Cherus district, it kind of just dropped in, slammed into the dragon, which looked comparatively small, and they're both just lying, like the boat's sort of teetered, the airship rather is sort of teetered at an angle on its hull in a way that it shouldn't be, on the ground, probably a little over half a mile to the north of you guys. It blazed through a little copse of trees, just shattered all of them. There's multiple smokestacks coming off of it, and you can see in the distance some portions of the long sort of dragon-like form of the thing that was summoned here. It seems like it's squirming, as if it's pinned under the front of it. Amalia, at this, the materia is giving you some weird feelings. The one you procured from Jidect, but also you remember the sending stone that you were given.
Yeah.
But at that, I do want to go and revisit Virgil just for a minute.
Hi, Virgil.
Right.
Alright,
Virgil's
then.
gone. You're gone. It's all. The city's gone. Is there anything not gone?
Virgil, the last thing you saw before your vision started fading to black was something that probably the first thing that ever really gave you pause with your doctoring practices, and it was what that entity did to Calliope in the middle of one of his sentences, no less, before blacking you out and returning you to whatever strange sort of purgatory this must be serving as. You don't feel the coldness anymore. You don't feel the chill of the ice underneath your body as you did prior. No, now you just feel a weight, like the weight of gravity when you're lying down on your back as it presses into your extremities, your limbs, and your body, except it's coming from all directions, as if you're balled up in some event horizon, some inescapable, unfathomable point of existence. You feel your eyes open, or maybe you're seeing the insides of your eyelids, but everything's just black. There's no points of light, and you can't really move. Not in a way that allows you to figure out where your limbs even are. You don't feel the different parts of your body against one another. In fact, you're having a hard time feeling anything, but you do have a singular point of conviction, and that is that you have to live. And it's because Calliope no longer gets to. Roll a charisma save.
Okay.
Ho 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 ho. So, describe how you successfully, emotionally, and mentally pull your existence together. Not into the real world, but how you situate yourself. This is essentially you getting angry enough to find a point of reality to base yourself on.
The hell I've escaped all of this. Ugh. And now I'm back. And I found the fucking person that Emery adores the most. And Emery, he's going to be pissed if I don't get him that autograph. He'll be more pissed if I tell him that, you know, Callie's fucking dead. Maybe I'll admit that part once I get there, but I have to get back first, don't I? I have to live. Great. Thanks, fucking asshole. Now I have to live for both of us. What am I supposed to do? Fucking charge in recklessly like you would? How dare you put this onus on me? And then there's the fucking ice golem. I told them for me, but did you listen? No. Fucking I have to live just so I can rage against the machine, I guess.
So before, when you weren't sure whether you couldn't see anything or you were just seeing the inside of your eyelids, you feel one of them open. It's your left eye first, and then your right eye in this weird, disorienting, unsynchronous manner, and you see something very sobering. It is it's the place you were in, the last time you were dreaming with everyone. Not with it juxtaposed on the frozen lake surface, but as it was when you were exploring it, when the strange entities were trying to pull you into the water, except instead of just being in, you're not even sure it has a normative state at this point, because this is the third time you're seeing it and the third time it's been different. It's fragmented, like somebody took reality and shattered it like breaking a puzzle. There's portions of walls hovering in a void, portions of floors having been spun around next to them, and it's just this chaotic mess, and you're floating in the middle of it, and your eyes fixate on one thing, and it is the staircase leading up to the Cloud City. Except you smell the carnage from the Cherus district wafting down that staircase, and you know what lies at the top of it, and you know what you have to do to get back. And you slowly sink to one of the shattered fragments of reality, and it is the one that leads you to the stairs.
All right.
Everyone else? I'm not gonna change the music. We're gonna go back to you guys. Amalia, your materia feels weird, and you have the sending stone. What do you want to do?
All right. First thing I'll do is Escavia's I don't know.
Lathering.
Yeah. I just his hand on her shoulder, just head towards Giant King. Is I think so.
Can you speak up?
I think so. I intend to make it not. She raises up her hand to the sending stone, and she's just gonna say, "Your work, I presume."
You do not get a response.
Of course not.
Is high good or bad?
Hi is fantastic.
Of course it is. High is always fantastic.
Except when it is.
I mean, you guys see that 96. Nothing changes. No response.
All right.
Died.
So that's
I'm gonna hold up the materia, and I'm gonna cast Arcana on it. Figure out what the hell's going on here.
All right. Roll Arcana. So 16. It's you almost accidentally do this with this Arcana check. This materia is very strange, and you could, if you wanted to, consume it.
eat it.
You're not sure what that does, but you do know that it would not really be available to interact with if you did.
Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
So Amalia looks thoughtful for a second. Do I feel like I could interact with it in the normal way?
You don't know. Your expertise doesn't fall in the realm of materia. You could ask Catherine though. She does know general materia
Okay.
properties.
So she's gonna hold out the materia. She's gonna say, "Took this from Jidect. When I saw him using it, didn't have it slide into it. You determine anything about it, I can't."
Okay, Kvi blinks and takes a few seconds to
Compose?
compose herself. Get herself back into the present. Give me that.
All right, roll materia crafting.
Okay.
Should be in your tools.
So maybe you want to switch the song?
To what?
This is a dream song, isn't it?
What?
So remember, the dream realm is interposing on reality.
Oh, right, you're right.
I'm just gonna
What's
leave it.
that? What's that? Amalia is helping you?
Oh, I guess Amalia is helping you, even though she can't.
Yeah.
Amalia's helping.
Weird.
All right, I guess she's helping you. Great. So At first you're like, this isn't a materia, this is a basketball. And then Molly's like, shut up, it's a materia. And you're like, oh yeah, it's a materia. If you think you could slot this into equipment if you found,
A
like,
very big equipment.
well, it's a little more complex. Because when you put materia into something, you don't, sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't physically put it in a slot. You just, I'll come up with the semantics later. I'm on the spot right now, and I'm drawing blanks. But this is essentially just too much for any one piece of equipment that you can think of.
Too strong magically.
Not too strong. It's a big thing. There's too much of it. Like, you don't know, like you seriously didn't think this was a materia when she handed it to you, even though you saw it. Like it makes more sense as a casting focus, but no, it's a materia. That said, you do recognize some other properties of it, and it is very unstable. And essentially, the Arcana check allowing Amalia to deduce that it could be quote-unquote consumed isn't necessarily consumption as much as it is dissipating it. You can release this thing's energy and it is going to never ever remanifest, but it would invigorate basically everything within a set area around it by a lot.
I mean, if you ate it, so to speak, not literally, but if you destroyed it, it would power around everything around it. But I'm not sure what it does if you let it alone.
Yeah, Jadek was using it to make geysers, fountains, and I'm pretty sure he flooded the place earlier.
Well then, yes we do know.
What I want to know is how he was able to do that without having it slide in it.
Yeah, the 21 doesn't get you anything on that. However, Jidek's corpse is right over there.
Could always eat the corpse and see if there's anything that will help us figure it out on him.
And as you three look back up the hill at Jidek's kneeling corpse with the massive anchor teetering him to one side, Virgil's hand tears through reality and peels it back for just a fraction of a second. And it's long enough for all of you to see into the infinite cosmos that lies underneath that fabric. And as he does, you sort of see the reverse of what was the shadows consuming him, as he just kind of like is again in front of you.
Do we recognize it as Virgil? Or
It's Virgil, but all of the entirety of his clothing, of his tunic and possibly cloak that was covering his right arm and shoulder is just gone, torn away, and there is there's almost an engraving through his fur and the flesh underneath. It's
Virgil! I knew he couldn't be gone!
it looks like a coiling scar progressing up his wrist.
Huh.
Not dead yet. And I've got some fucking news.
Oh, you're not dead, but Callie died.
About that. Pulls out a scalpel. I've got a promise to keep, huh? Where the fuck is he?
He's like on the ground, 10 feet away.
You're there?
Don't fucking judge me.
I wouldn't dream of it.
So Virgil, it definitely takes you a second because your mind was on other things, but as you're walking over to Calliope, you see out of the corner of your eye, apparently somebody crashed a ship while you were gone.
Onto
Did
the
that
dragon.
fucking finish him off? Hmm?
Which that?
He gestures at the dragon, I assume.
Yeah, I mean to. Like, I do
You,
that a lot.
yeah, you weren't there when the dragon came out. You were dead before it.
There's a
Sure.
fucking dragon.
Yeah, there's a fucking dragon. It showed up when I killed the ghost.
Oh, good. You killed the fucking ghost. Way to fucking go. I'm proud.
I killed Jadax as well.
Hell yeah. Now we don't have to worry about that bitch. Okay. By the way, we're all fucking. And he's just gonna casually start fucking harvesting Callie's organs.
All right,
We're all
roll,
fucking enthralled,
roll medicine.
apparently.
I don't know if there are any.
That's why I'm saying roll medicine.
Oh yeah.
About to get some info.
Ah.
All right, so which organ do you go for first?
Shut up. Shut up. I'm gonna fucking. I know it's early, but Virgil deserves respect!
No, he doesn't.
Clearly,
He
he
survived
doesn't.
being dead. I think that's.
Oh my god! You can exert it.
This is what I mean, Eric! This is what I mean!
It's a.
Do you
it-
want some help? Do
Is
you want some help with the medicine roll?
Oh, this is sad.
You need a hand there, Virgil?
Yes.
No, let me tell you what the 7 gives you first. You plop
Okay,
down
what's the 7?
in front of Calliope, and you're about to do everything right when, upon making the first incision, a black, unidentifiable sludge oozes out, and
Oh.
you see necrosis start to affect Calliope's nails and teeth, and his remaining horn, and his hair starts to depigmentize, and
There's no pigment to begin with, but yes.
it just starts to look sickly. And there's a lucidity in its eyes. I say it because it doesn't look like Calliope, and you don't know what it is, but the eyes are different somehow. And they're looking at you. And I don't know where you are right now, Cecil, but that person that you just know about now, you see them, not physically. It's like the feeling of someone watching you, except you're weirdly also watching them back, even though you're not. And then all of a sudden,
yeah.
it's gone,
Okay.
and the eyes lose their lucidity, Virgil, and Calliope is still smiling.
Would I have gotten that on the 6? Like, I don't mean to be like about
You
it,
can
but
you don't have to use your reroll.
thank you.
There was no DC. There was no DC to make here.
Ah.
Okay.
So in a way, you were lucky.
Yeah. No, not numerically.
The black sludge that oozes out sort of solidifies into this strange, almost candy-like surface. It's shiny, not quite like obsidian, but like pumice. And you realize that it is just undergoing hyperoxidization as it reacts with the air. And you don't know what this is, but
Do you know what oxygen is?
you all of this. Well, yeah, sure.
You like shit.
You guys are it's advanced enough, and you guys are smart people. What this immediately tells you, Virgil, is remember when you and Catherine both harvested some of the blood from the horrible thing?
Mm-hmm.
You get a compulsion to harvest some of this, and specifically protect a portion of it from the air. I'll say you have some airtight bottles to do so with, if you choose to.
Of course. He's gotta fucking keep a hold of something. And if that's what the something is, then that's what the something is. So, fucking weird blood.
All right, no.
Callie.
Call it black sludge.
Okay. I'm calling it Callie's black sludge, though. Since it
Nice.
came from him.
I suppose while we're here, it's all of his stuff intact.
His stuff is intact, and you can sort of see his body's weirdly, like, Like, it was obviously contorted after being flung to the ground, but it's also lying in a way that implies something's underneath it. And it could be a rock, but if you wanted to investigate, you could.
Sure.
So, Amalia, you go over and you disturb Calliope's corpse just enough that you can see a little under to what would be causing it to lie in this way. And it is the spear. The spear
From
that
the
you
dream
got
world?
from the dream world. And Catherine, immediately as
Yeah.
you see the spear, you realize that your vial belt feels just a touch heavier.
Okay, I look down in my belt.
And you guys have everything present that you got from the dream world. It's all with you.
And now I just have to remember what I had in the dream world that I didn't
You
have
had specifically 5 vials of the Seraphim's blood,
here. Okay.
and it was a brackish ichor. It was like a mix between green and black. Not really the same stuff as the black sludge.
Isn't it Icar?
I think it is, and you continually say that, but I prefer ichor.
Sometimes
know.
it just
Mhm.
never sticks. I get you. I
Yeah.
feel you.
It's like how it's really Jeff, but fuck that.
Name Jeff.
No, fuck you. It's GIF.
That's the
I
point.
just say GIF.
All right. Well,
It's actually MP4.
not to divert too hard.
Alright, well, in that case,
As I was saying,
we'll take.
we're fucking enthralled, apparently.
For all to who?
So,
Great.
I thought I was in hell because Callie was there. No offense. And
Not.
then this weird fucking ice golem showed up.
Virgil,
Hmm?
now that I'm not absolutely fascinated with what you're about to come out with, but she points in the direction of the dragon.
Fucking...
Maybe
Yeah, let's deal with
this
that
first.
now. Yeah, come on.
So of Calliope's effects, because I don't know off the top of my head everything he had. Probably gonna grab like
Let me just.
You're looting Calliope. Let me just click
You can
his
no longer
character
say
sheet
that
real
anyone's immoral.
fast.
I have very little.
He has the cool weapons. He has the.
No, the Flammenmesser is stuck in the dragon.
You're right. He has the EMP. He has
Yeah.
the piercing attack materia. That's all you can really get from him, except you don't have materia manipulation. So piercing attack materia was in a blunderbuss that was given to Albus. So I'm gonna put that in Albus's character sheet.
No, I'm pretty sure that blunderbuss with a piercing attack materia is in his house
Oh yeah.
in Canaan.
Yep. You can't get anything off of him. You could get some horribly ruined clothes.
can
Yeah,
get the I can get the
Weapon,
EMP. Gonna take that.
Right. Yeah. So you
could
take the contraption that he had gotten
Yeah.
from the wreckage of the lift.
his left sock is also completely in pristine condition. If you want to take that, like
No,
it's not even touched by dirt.
no.
Even Virgil has standards. He's not gonna take fucking clothes.
I was just gonna see.
No, she's taking the EMP.
All right.
Respect.
So just add weird EMP question mark to your inventory. It's pretty heavy, but still only takes up a slot. And no, we can keep going. So you guys begin the walk towards the massive wrecked ship and the squirming, writhing dragon underneath it. It almost looks comical at first until you realize that this is something you're going to be contending against very quickly, and even pinned, it's likely a force to be reckoned with. Now, rewinding.
Oh, real quick, I don't. Forgive me for sounding like Fergus for a minute, but mechanically, what's up with me?
What do you mean? You're
Health,
at 0 health.
exhaustion.
0 health. Did I specifically give you a sustained injury for the final attack you took?
You didn't give me a sustained injury. You just gave me shadow plague when I first got
Okay,
exhausted.
you're still shadow plagued.
Okay.
Still shadow plagued.
Yeah,
Still at 0
Nice.
health.
Super disadvantage and max damage from.
Yeah.
Still, in all fairness, that's why I want to. That's why I do it, Caro. It can be really important sometimes.
Can I fucking healer kit my way through that? No, I don't have any. I don't need a treatment to use a healer kit.
Yeah, no, you can use your healer's kit to basically stimulate your adrenaline. Like, you can feel the shadow
Cool.
plague eating at you, but you can function normally.
Do you need help with that action?
No. Healer's kit's like, it's just a thing he can do as a
He just
scourge
grabs
doctor.
another syringe and.
Now, I'm gonna say this is like a drug patch that you have to use.
Drug patch, syringe, tomato, tomato. I'm a fan of syringes when I'm doctoring.
All right,
What
that's
can
fair.
I say?
You can use a syringe if you want. So rewinding just a bit. Cecil,
Yeah.
how far back we going?
Let's go back right before. No, like 2 minutes before the crash.
All right.
Maybe 1 minute before the crash.
So 2 minutes before the crash. Where are you on the ship? Who have you been hanging around with?
I've been hanging out with Roderick and Frederick, my two favorite rigs.
Okay, well, Roderick and Frederick definitely aren't hanging around each other.
They wouldn't be unless Cecil was actively getting them together while
Alright,
he
so
was talking and bringing them.
You're on the deck because Frederick refuses to
Yeah.
be anywhere other than the very
Yes.
front of the ship, with his foot firmly planted on the like the thing jutting out of the front of ships that is there.
Sir?
Yes, of course.
And you've got, actually, he probably doesn't care, but you've definitely got Roderick by the arm. He looks
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And
Wait, Roderick's on the ship?
Yeah.
so
You didn't listen to the intro.
so you are careening at a downward angle
Yeah.
because you were just corralled by the old tattooed woman. You were notified that you guys were urgently needed despite being passengers to Cheru's, and the ride was definitely about to get very bumpy. She said that there was a favor to repay. And it seemed like the rest of the crew, everyone other than Frederick and Roderick, seemed a little exasperated at that, while Frederick seemed pretty ambivalent. Roderick seemed a little confused. And Roderick's arm is covered in a cold sweat as he realizes what's about to happen. You, 2 minutes prior, is going to be immediately after you black out and have Calliope's memories implanted and juxtaposed over your own.
Alright. So, immediately after that, Cecil puts a hand on the side, like on one of the railings of the ship, and just kind of looks over and is like, "This motion sickness has me acting rather strange. Frederick?
Can we please go below the deck now?
No. I have one before you go. If you really, genuinely won't believe, I have a question.
Roderick just like frantically looks over his shoulder and he's like, "What?"
Do you know any ways of getting off of a ship safely
Um,
while it's in the air?
please let me go. I'll give you more oranges.
No, just really quick.
No, not that won't kill you. It's best to get under something.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. And he lets him go.
And he
Roger
turns and he
scuttles
runs.
onto the
He slide tackles down the steps leading to below deck, and you hear some more footsteps. And you're gonna impact in like 30 seconds. And Frederick is laughing like a maniac.
Yep.
He draws his crossbow. You see him place a bolt straight into one of the dragon's eyes.
deck. Frederick, I have a question before we inevitably crash.
What's up?
Is it cool if I jump off?
That's what I was gonna do.
Okay, want to do it together?
Left side,
Right side.
right side, and he slings his crossbow onto his back. He points at a portion of the deck, a portion of the railing on the starboard side, which I think is the right side, and then he just breaks into a sprint.
Cecil does as well.
All right. Roll athletics.
Can I roll acrobatics?
Yes.
Why does athletics even exist?
So
I'm
that
gonna exert
strength
myself.
characters can be good at something.
I'm gonna exert myself.
All right. Roll exertion.
It says rolling the dice. 18. I will take the 6.
I believe that's +3 because you have a con modifier and a wisdom modifier. So it's
Okay,
21. Describe how you and Frederick do an awesome synchronized jump off of the ship.
Alright, so. As we're both running, we jump off almost in perfect sync. And in further sync, we both hold on to both of our hats so they don't fall off as we are plummeting down. And what we do is we use the the very classic our arms back, legs at a 45-degree angle so you can roll, but we do it past we kind of trim off the dragon in a way that we're now at a decent angle for rolling, and we both just kind of land softly in whichever way we want to.
You do.
Oh, Frederick fails.
Frederick, you can hear him land, but he gets overtaken by the ship, and just a blast of dirt and rubble blocks your vision before you can see how he ends up. As just this thunderous roar deafens you, and right, you're rolling stealth, right?
Yes. Name stealth. 21.
All right. So because you got a 21 acrobatics,
Just lands in a bush.
I'm going to say that you don't take any damage, but you land prone in a bush. So exactly.
Okay.
So you're
Cool.
going to have to use half your movement to get up when you inevitably want to do so. But other than that, you're fine.
Cool. Bush time.
And now we hold up. Just a second. Now I switch the map and everyone can choose where they are located.
Nice.
This structure to the north is parts of the Dream buildings juxtaposed onto the Cherus district. This is obviously a giant wrecked ship. And this is a dragon that, while not visually pinned underneath, is pinned underneath. And it
Really, Eric? Really?
looks very, very angry.
Really, Eric?
What's up?
You Dark Souls?
I don't know what you're talking about. I did this for Syndrax.
I see. You do know I am referring to the health bar.
Of
right?
course. And
Okay.
as you all come upon this scene, you hear a terrible screech as the dragon, with a massive lancing bolt in its eye, glares at you with its other, its head turned slightly to the side so that it can better grasp you in its vision. You feel fury, but you also feel ecstasy and madness and bloodlust.
And a charisma save?
Nope. Roll initiative.
Wow. I didn't know Cecil looks like Pin.
What? Oh, well, I. Hold up, fine. Let me.
Wait, I rolled initiative.
Alright,
It's
let
not
me just
showing
fix
up.
that.
Does it say rolling dice?
No? Okay.
Damn.
Very nice.
I did actually draw Cecil.
I think Kvi has has less
Cecil has
dex than
a
Cecil,
4,
so
whereas she's got
I'm gonna put you
3,
at
yeah.
functionally at 21 since nobody else has 21, and you'll go right after him.
Cecil's a rogue. I feel like his initiative should be higher.
What?
Question mark?
Huh?
Like, does
What's your dex?
4.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm pretty
Fine.
like
Yeah.
Shawnee doesn't have as high dex. That's
I have a 3 dex.
exactly. So Cecil wins the tie.
Stuart was just worried that it didn't seem as high as it should.
yeah?
What do you mean 22 didn't seem as high as it should?
He's got a 4 modifier and he's a rogue. Like Virgil has a higher mod.
Only because my dex is 20.
Oh yeah, cause you're a feline Palturin. Either way, none of you see Cecil. You just see this guy. Are you sure you want to start that close to him?
Me?
No, not
No.
you. Everyone else.
Oh.
Place yourselves wherever you want. This first tier of the building is about 20 feet up. This tier, connected by a ladder, is about 50 feet up. This is about a 10-foot high warehouse-looking building. And this is a ground platform. So Catherine's 20 feet up. Amalia's 50 feet up.
No, not there. There.
We are now... Oh, I'm gonna ping Yaroth.
Ideally, I would be right in the middle of these 4. Can't be perfect, I suppose.
In the middle of what?
In the middle of these 4 squares. You know, for a little bit of cover, but oh well.
That it doesn't give you cover. It's a raised platform held up on pillars.
Oh.
I wonder
okay.
what happens to
I
us
thought it
when
was-
it collapses.
You
Oh,
roll
wow.
acrobatics checks.
Yeah, he looks like a sad boy who grew up in Estreville, alright.
However, remember that when you guys had inspected the construction of the strange material of the dreamscape, it was incredibly resilient.
Wait, Kira, let me send you the full one if I can find it.
Ooh, please do. I'm always so jealous of your art talents. You do such a good job.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you,
as
Tom.
soon as Yaroth
No, I'm just as kind as I.
as soon
anyone
as
should
Yaroth gets here, question mark, we can start.
Oh, I found it. Here we go.
be. Did he die again?
He's not in VC. And I don't know when he would have dropped out because I didn't hear anything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he sure is a doggy boy.
Dog gang?
The tail doesn't. I guess the tail's a bit dog-like. It's
Yeah.
more dog-like than cat-like at any rate.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make things look like dog if all you have
Yeah.
point ears.
Yeah, he's andro dog boy.
It looks
Sweet.
really good, Fergus.
Well, thank you.
So what's this sparky thing again?
Best you can tell is that is a massive turret mounted on the deck of the ship.
Okay.
It's kind of thrumming with energy.
I like the idea that everyone just send Albus out.
Well, yeah,
Albus in attack mode.
that's because oh, he's back. Yura,
Back.
are you able to access roll 20? I can listen to this remix for days, so
It's a good. You don't see guillotine being used much because of how perfect it is for its backing sound. So I'm happy to listen to it.
Man, can I just say real quick, now that I understand, I love reading Neil's react.
what has he said?
Uh,
Ah.
yeah. Oh boy, has been one of the most helpful people in
Yeah, you realized how much I had got to laugh at all of you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Each and every time, like
Albus is
points
typing.
to
Everyone,
where-
shut up. You get to. You aren't starting there, by the way, Albus. I need to know where you want to start.
Like he's had to see all of our reactions, just like dominoes.
And it got one of us to rage quit, so
Yeah.
I'm not
And
gonna
you should
name any
really get
names
back
here.
since you beat Berseria.
I haven't beat Berseria.
Berseria.
Oh yeah, just for laugh's sake, they never forget Hoshifon.
No, no, they don't.
As they shouldn't.
If you think like Kevin's work was sad.
Do you guys have any idea how long I spent using the fucking drawing tool making this airship?
Oh, 10 minutes? No, just kidding.
30
Wait.
seconds. I don't know why you did it.
30 days.
Because I was poring over Google Images for so long trying to find just a shitty image of an airship that I can slap
I
on.
would have loved
And
to
you
do
couldn't
it.
find one, could you? I couldn't either.
What's up, Fergus?
I would have been completely happy to do it for you. I just, I tried.
See, the difference between me and Wyatt is I value shock value, and
But we already crashed though. You didn't. There was no shock to this.
that's true. But I didn't want to be like, yo, draw a crazy airship, except it has a huge turd in the middle. Like
Okay,
it's the
fair
little,
enough.
it's the little stuff too.
I respect that vibe.
However, fuck you for calling my airship shit.
I mean, I didn't even know it was an airship until you said that.
Well, the squiggles are rubble.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's everybody doing?
I'm doing great.
Well enough considering current events and everything.
We can start as soon as you both have rolled initiative, Albus, or have told me to roll it for you, and have placed your token where you want him to be.
Is that him just leaving?
That was him just leaving. And he's back.
Hello.
The Empire Strikes Back.
There's a knock on your door, Yarath.
That's a knock on my milk cup, not my door.
I cannot be there for anything. My family's.
Alright, great. So we will pick up here next time.
No.
No?
Do you want us to proceed without you? Like, we're about to hit the combat. And it's 8:30. Like, and this boss has a big health bar at the top of the screen. Like, this it's probably gonna run for a while. So, I mean,
We could probably crush it.
well, Amelia didn't disperse the materia, so
Who's
no,
Amelia?
Amalia, my bad. So it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Well, could you disperse the materia in combat?
You want to invigorate the dragon?
Dispersing the materia takes about 10 minutes. That said, because we have not roleplayed at all in front of the dragon, except for me giving the intro, this materia gives you a long rest instantly. But you don't get the materia anymore. Because I'm an asshole.
It's a megalixir.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Why not
Start.
just say it's a megalixir?
Wait. Yarath, what did you say?
Shakes the Yarath
When
8
you
ball
wanna dig
frantically.
it.
Fuck.
He's back in roll 20.
Are we going?
I am reloading the website because everything crashed.
Of course it
And
did.
it was because the internet went down.
Alright, so before we commit this, how's everyone's resources like?
Virgil is wounded and at 0 health.
He's at 9 health because that's what his
Right.
healer skill does.
How's Catherine looking? Like, Albus, I'm pretty sure is looking okay.
Catherine's at slightly less than half her hit.
Yeah, Albus is fine right now.
I'm at half health, but
How
you don't know
fine
me. You don't
is
even know.
Albus? What's the hell?
I mean, if somebody has a potions that people can borrow, I mean, you could hand them out. I don't have a potion, strangely enough, considering that I should have, but I don't have healing potions. I do have healing kits, but not healing potions.
Has everyone's spell slots?
I do not
How
have
did
any.
you left? How did you left Albus spell?
Albus casted Fairy Fire once, so he has one more spell slot remaining. 'Cause he had already cast Cure
Here, or
Wounds.
did Zavoim do that? I feel like Zavoim was the one who cast Fairy Fire.
Yeah, Zavoim did cast Fairy Fire.
Oh, okay. So Albus has 2 spell slots remaining. By the way, none of you guys looked for him afterwards.
Everyone?
Yeah, he's gone. He left.
Any formation that I should be on?
Yeah, you can place your token wherever you want, or if you need me to, I will. This platform is 20 feet up, and this platform is 50 feet up. This is a giant crashed ship with a partially charged turret on the middle of the deck. It looks like this and this were where blimps were attached, and they have been severed and destroyed. This dragon is pinned underneath the front of the ship. It cannot move, and it looks very angry.
Well, I'd be angry too.
Would it be like a foreboding question to ask what the materia does elsewise? Or is it just like, this is what it does, this is the thing I was talking about?
Well, in theory, it just does the things Tridect used it for. However,
Alright.
with the 16 Arcana check, Amalia didn't really infer that she could use it the same way he was doing So
I'm excited to fight this drowned king.
Would like if everybody leveled up by now.
well, hey, maybe if you find more of those pedestals.
Now that we know we can.
So you want to
finish
be on the
game
platform?
together.
I don't really know. How's the green spots?
The green, that's just grass.
Any elevation that I should?
Yeah, this platform's 20 feet up, accessible by this ladder up here. This is 50 feet up, accessible by the 20 foot
ladder?
up. This ladder over here. So you'd have to run quite a bit of ways to get up to the platform, unless you're able to jump the 20 feet from your current position. But, like, time is frozen and you're setting yourself on the map, so you can go wherever you want. Alright, so you're going to be on the platform with them?
Well,
Just as a note, Amalia is 30 feet up, so she's not going to be in radius for your shield.
yeah.
And roll initiative.
Roll for me.
Alright, so if you guys want, I will sacrifice this materia. If you guys...
I think Virgil's the only one who really needs it.
I could do with
So-
it. I mean,
Cecil would not possibly benefit from it because the material would be used before you get here.
that's true. Fair enough.
And I don't feel like wasting it on just Virgil. If he dies again, he dies again.
Yeah, I mean, also you have the chance to reroll stuff. Sorry.
How long ago was the last fight?
The last,
5 minutes ago.
yeah.
So I still have the whatever it is.
Yeah, everything that you've had activated is still activated.
Okay. Let me put the arm.
And nothing bad happened to any of your stuff while you were gone. You can also, outside turn order, I'll let you roll the temp health shield for everyone since we're setting up, except for Cecil and Amalia. Which is what, your intelligence modifier plus 1d10? Yep.
Yes.
Alright, so
Yeah,
everyone except for Amalia and Cecil starts with 8 temporary health.
I mean, how long would it last? Because
He's doing it like upon arrival and then combat's initiated by Cecil. It lasts a minute.
okay.
Like if you guys have enough time to get up the ladder, like I'm letting you, then.
Speaking of initiating combat,
Yep. So
how do I do surprise round?
combat has not yet begun, and the dragon screeches.
Okay.
Attack it before anything else happens.
All right.
So right now,
getting up to half my movement,
yeah, you're prone.
so I can move 2 spaces. Does that wing count, or does what counts as the dragon?
Because combat has not yet begun, you do not have limited movement until it starts.
All right.
So this is while they're climbing up the ladder.
Okay.
So
And-
you sneak up on this thing, and it's a good portion of its tail is just pinned and gruesomely smashed underneath this airship. You see its fins like breaking off in these weird geometric ways as these things like glass shards protrude out of the wounds.
Okay.
There are heads coming off out of its scales. These weird, shadowy, discombobulated, detailless heads that look like they're screaming, but no noise is coming out. And
Very cool.
whenever like they touch the surrounding reality, they wince, and the dragon seems to recoil.
Okay. So I'll describe how I hit it after I see how I roll.
Great.
So this is Death in the West's guillotine with everything.
It does not know you're there. Roll with advantage.
Okay, and I will be using Great Weapon Master. I will reduce my effect. I will reduce it by 5, and it'll deal another plus 10 damage to units.
That sounds fair.
You can
advantage.
declare that after you roll, by the way.
Oh, okay. Can I?
Yep. So you can roll, and if you have a feeling that it only barely beats the DC, you can choose not to Great Weapon Master.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna spend my re-roll, and I will.
You can also exert.
I will. Yeah, but I'm also at low health, so I clicked it. Just give it a sec.
No problem.
24.
I'm sorry,
I
but a
will-
24. I'm just kidding.
Shut your ass up. I'm curious whether or not a 19 hits.
Yes,
don't-
a 19
It
does hit. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be reducing that by
5 to 19, adding 10 damage.
I
Because
have a Great Weapons Master plus 10 in the global damage modifier. So.
yep. Let me think
Oh,
for a
right.
second.
That's how that
So because this damage functions as a crit, because you're initiating from a surprise round, roll until you get a crit, so we don't have to roll all the dice separately.
Okay.
There we go.
Alright.
And damage.
Oh, whoops. Oh, what? Oh, what? I'm confused.
Did you not have them checked?
Let me just recheck them. I don't know what happened. I clicked that. Well,
There it is.
There it is.
So 37.
Oh, I didn't have Great Weapons Master checked.
That's fine. 57, 63.
Holy shit!
74, 77, 87 slashing damage. Describe what you're doing to it.
So, from the sidelines, you all see a figure with this giant, writhing, what looks to be almost like an arm. Virgil knows exactly who it might be, as
I don't know
Cecil.
if I do from this distance.
The weapon's kind of synonymous with his name, so you might. It doesn't. You might not be looking. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, so Cecil starts. You all kind of know what's like. Assuming there isn't any other sounds going on aside from the dragon, there's like a prominent whistling as Cecil jauntily walks out. Somehow the dragon is too upset to even notice. He's walking at it from its blind spot. That's how. And he steps on what appears to be one of its like kind of more hurty areas to garner its attention for a split second before ramming the scythe directly into its underside and then clamping it so it gets lodged in and then pulls away, and it just strews a bunch of shit from it all over the place.
A bunch of specifically weird shadow entities that are abhorrently just repulsed by even contact with your weapon. Portions of the dragon's scales begin to liquefy and boil around the wound as it starts to fester invisibly. You smell rose petals as it screeches in pain.
And can I dip? I didn't use my movement action, did I?
You didn't.
All right, I will roll.
You
a stealth.
used your bonus action to make that the guillotine attack, so you cannot bonus action hide. And running away, this thing's threat radius is about 5 squares away from where you currently are, so you can
Alright.
move 5 squares without incurring an attack of opportunity.
Can I? Question. So with Great Weapons Master, on a critical, I can attack again as a bonus action.
Yeah, as a bonus action, which you've already used.
Oh, so I don't get a second bonus action.
No.
Oh, okay.
Never.
Then I will move my 40 feet away.
5 squares is 25. If you want the attack of opportunity, by all means, move 40
Wait.
feet away.
I'm so confused.
If you leave something's threat radius, it gets to attack you as a reaction, unless you disengage. Disengage is a bonus action for rogues. It's an action for everything else. It's
Oh, okay.
you
Yeah,
ducking.
okay, I got you. All right, then I will.
This
One,
thing is really big,
two.
so its threat radius is really big. So you have
Alright.
5 squares of leeway.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Great.
So you die then.
Huh?
No, it's Kavi's turn as you watch At first you think it's Frederick until you see the weapon, and then the horrible wound is inflicted on this thing, and it starts screeching, and you get that itch scratched, and you want to do research on this thing, but at the same time, like, you don't want it to kill you. What do you do,
Okay.
Catherine?
First I check what. Okay. So does. Okay. Where do I have the distance for my?
Like the ruler?
No, I meant what my range is for my weapons.
What are your weapons? Typically they will be. You press the gear. Oh, Tonfa's melee, blunderbuss. Doesn't look like they're filled in. I can grab them real quick. Pretty sure blunderbuss is relatively short range. Where are you? Ranged weaponry, blunderbuss is 20 feet of range. It does not even have a disadvantage range. It's just 20 feet.
Huh. And the Tonfa has the thing that makes it return when it's thrown. You know what?
It's a returning Tonfa?
Yeah.
Alright, hell yeah.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna cast arcane weapon. I
Alright.
think
What elemental
that's
damage
an
type?
infusion, right?
Yeah.
Let me go check. Yeah. So casting it on the Tonfa,
Sunlight blade be like.
and
What damage
throw
type?
it.
Do you have a particular damage type that you want?
Sure, electric.
Alright, so
Lightning, I mean.
the Tonfa crackles with lightning. You spin it in your hand. Let's see how far away this thing is. Oh yeah. And you just you whip it from over your head. It slams into a portion of its scales, and you see the lightning just arc across that little portion of its body. It winces just a bit. You deal 11 damage.
Virgil looks at his tonfas.
Everyone look at the health bar. You ready?
I see.
Yeah, no, I've already seen how much the 87 dropped.
Alright. Anything else,
So,
Catherine?
Gonna be relying on Cecil.
You don't have to.
I'm gonna use
He's
my,
he's not
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
use my
a
last
sneak attack every turn.
exertion point to
Yeah, the Tonfa returns to your hand.
yeah, I'm gonna use my last exertion point to do piercing thunder.
Okay, so you used your bonus action for arcane weapon. You use your action to throw it.
Oh, okay, so I can't do that then.
Yeah, using exertion is an action or using a point of effort is an action unless declared otherwise. However, yeah, it also has to be in range of the shotgun to use piercing thunder.
Good point. Okay, well then, I'll just
Either way, I'm glad you're trying to do things so that you familiarize yourself with the system.
I'm gonna send the plant.
Do you want it to have started somewhere else?
No,
Okay. So it just drops off the ledge down to the ground and it starts crawling along. It can get to there, yeah. And round 20. Cecil, you specifically see this probably the best because you're at ground level, up from beneath the rubble and the portion of the ship that's pinning this thing's tail. The ground around it seems to boil, and
That's cool.
portions of the grass turn gaseous as other portions melt. And shadowy arms this time, with hands attached to the end of it, with too many fingers, start erupting from the earth and grasping at it before electrifying and sending out pulsing shockwaves. The danger plant and you both need to make constitution saves.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
Hey.
Malia, 17 passive perception.
Yep.
Okay, so
Cecil's dead.
all right, they both fail. So as the electrical impulses slowly start to envelop you, Cecil, and the danger plant, um, you you feel your insides just kind of become uncomfortable as immediately from around you you realize that you've been found, and the black shadowy arms burst from the ground around you and start grasping at your legs. Um, but you don't feel particularly restrained. It's creepy, and it doesn't seem to have any immediate effects.
Oops.
But same with the danger
Okay.
plant. No immediate effects seem to be occurring. Amalia, with your 17 passive perception, right here. See where I'm pinging?
Where?
Right here. It's almost directly to the south of you, over a portion of the ship.
Yep.
You see from nothing an effigy begin forming. And it is your turn.
Okay. Can you mark that spot?
Yeah, sure. Effigy.
Effigy.
Bad. The bad. Okay. So I see that forming. Malia is going to turn her head and look at it. She's gonna lean down. She's gonna point it out to everyone. Not to worry, you guys, but weird shit appears to be happening over there.
Virgil just kind of gestures to the dragon pin on the airship. Yeah, weird shit's happening everywhere.
Yeah, but that might be important weird shit.
Fucking.
Well, how did we take it down last time? Didn't Zavoin... Wait, where did Zavoin go? Did he survive? I didn't see him dead.
Amalia, your passive perception would have seen Zavoim disappear into the building that you guys were next to.
Yep. We went back into the building. I don't think you followed.
Well, didn't it work because he put something on him?
Not necessarily. Your shotgun managed to deal with it last time.
Maybe that was the ghost I'm thinking.
Yeah, nothing worked against the ghost, but breaking all the effigies killed it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that effigy is out of reach of my shotgun.
It's okay. It's now out of reach of mine. So, before I make an attack, though, I want to take another look at the materia.
Okay.
I want to just, divert some of my efforts to figure out, can I use this in the manner Jaded was used?
16 Arcana told you that no. However, rolling the Arcana also kind of destabilized it. And so, if you want to inspect it hard enough, quote unquote, basically, some shit might happen, but it might be counterproductive shit.
In for a penny.
Are you doing so?
Yes.
Oh my fucking god. Is high good or bad?
You know what my favorite part of that question is?
What?
It's still a percentile chance no matter what I say. High is good.
All right. Shit. Okay.
What's
So
that? High is bad?
you
That's what I
hold the
heard.
materia in front of you, and you begin to focus on it, and nobody else sees this. You don't even really see it because you can't see your own eyes, but your irises change color, and symbols start writing themselves in your corneas, and your sclera get this weird pinkish hue as the materia starts reverberating and then shrinking before re-expanding, before shrinking a little further, before re-expanding. It's trying desperately to hold on to its current form. But you have just plucked the bar from the bar joint, and it collapses in on itself into a single infinitesimally small point. And then centered on a point that you get to pick within. Roll a dexterity save.
The voting question afterwards is going to be what were the other options?
Maybe we should have taken the anchor.
Like,
Dex save, Amalia. All right, where do you want this thing centered?
do I have an indication of what this thing might be?
You have no idea, but you hear a whole lot of water.
Yes. Okay.
All right, can you center it maybe like on the dragon still, but a little bit further away from Cecil?
In fact, do you have access to the drawing tool?
Vaguely, yes.
You get a 50-foot radius with this.
All right.
And also, just because I was just talking about this. Nah, your theme played last time. We'll let somebody else have the spotlight when another inevitably cool thing happens.
In all fairness, 87 damage would have been indicative of a theme, but I passed it up because I thought someone was gonna crit.
Alright, so basically I want to drop this on the dragon without drowning Cecil, because I presume my passive perception lets me see him now.
I'll allow it.
I'm pretty sure he rolled. No, yeah, he broke stealth. So yeah, you know where he ran off to. You know where he scampered off to.
So we're dropping this on the dragon without drowning him as well. Can we do that? I do not know.
So you're selecting a point of origin. And then it's a 50-foot radius, and that's all you know. Its effects will manifest when they manifest. So use the drawing tool. Where is this sucker?
Alright, what if we say it starts here? And then what's 50 feet? 1, 2, 3.
Where's it starting? Oh,
1, 2.
this
Yeah,
is 50 feet.
Yep.
It's a radius though. So if it's starting there, it's going to here, and it's a square. Well, a circle technically.
Okay. Cecil's safe if we start it from there?
Yes, Cecil's safe if that's the center.
And the dragon's getting the full brunt of it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's-
So
Water doesn't heal.
This is exactly...
so the point occupied by the materia disappears for a fraction of a second. It just blinks out of existence before it reforms in your hand and then expands out to its original size. And after it does, you see a rupture in reality through some of the coils of the dragon, and you just hear the immediate crumpling of some portions of the ship as giant torrents of water, just completely unbeholden to the laws of physics, begin spilling out of the point of origin and snaking in seemingly random directions as they just uncoil and recoil and shoot out and thrash wildly and whip against the dragon, and consume portions of it, taking off chunks that are not replaced, that are disintegrated under the water pressure of these massive tendrils.
The drowned are king.
It is just screeching in pain as this happens. You feel a very significant presence gone from the materia, and you
How
feel
much
that
damage does this
presence.
thing take?
You feel that presence reappear in the back of your mind with an insidious grin. It's
All for that.
just through imagery, it's this dark sort of grin in the shadows, this detailless visage of something that you just instinctively know is not good juju. Do you want to roll the damage dice?
No, you go ahead. So, what did that count as? That count as my action?
That was a bonus action, funnily enough.
Great.
Ah!
That's not all, by the way.
So,
All right, all of you. Water just made of the same weird non-physical fluid that was conjured by that just coalesces around your weapon, Cecil. Conjures around your fists, I guess, Amalia, around your tonfas, Virgil, around your shotgun, Kavi, and around all of your fist arrays, Albus.
Huh.
I don't quite think this will be affect some.
That was a
like
mistake.
the ocean.
It's not supposed to lose that much. It was not supposed to have that much.
217 damage.
Minus 2.
I
So-
thought that was real.
There we go.
So,
48. Bro.
while all of that water blowing up is happening, can I throw the EMP at it?
Yeah, roll athletics.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Let's see. This one. You just toaster bat this thing.
Funnily enough.
Whoa.
All right, so I'll let you describe this. Go ahead and yeet it. It's gonna do exactly what you want it to do.
So, as this water explodes around, Amalia's like, well, that's not entirely what I planned for, but... And she pulls the EMP device out, fiddles around with it until it starts sparking, just stamps one foot onto the ground, and just lobs it at the dragon.
If a professional baseball player were there, they would admire your form in the pitch. I'm gonna say it's hurtling through the air before one of the torrents just randomly completely consumes it, and the entire body of what is essentially just a huge waterworks screensaver explodes with electricity, spilling across the deck. It comes into contact with the turret.
Ooh.
It rolls a deck save. No, it doesn't. It can't fucking deck save out of this. Pretty sure it was just 20. Alright, so it takes another 28 lightning damage.
I approve of Amalia.
You see the turret charge a little more.
Great. Was that my item use?
No, that was your turn.
No.
There, that was your action. You still have movement.
Okay. So having done all of that, she's gonna look down at the rest of them and like, so, you think you can deal with the effigy, or I deal with this?
Sure. Which one of us?
And
With
you
all due respect, I'll take out the fucking effigy.
All right then.
And your turn, Virgil.
He. This is right,
Yeah, that's part of the raised platform.
so I can nuke over to here. And how far away is this? Let's see.
It's a pretty far jump.
Oh, no.
To get to the actual the effigy is 45 feet.
I think I can throw a dart that far.
Probably. I think. Let me check. It's technically a little higher than you. Yeah, it's in the disadvantage range. Darts are pretty short range. It's 2060.
I believe in you.
I've got a +7. Even with the disadvantage, I can probably get it.
believe in the heart of the cards.
Not like he's got much other options. So. Yeet.
Yeet.
Good luck. Oh.
10 hits. Roll
Eh.
damage.
Nice. Sneak attack because it wasn't expecting that.
You have to have advantage on an attack to sneak attack, and you had disadvantage.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. I forget about that particular bit.
Yep.
Because usually the pack tactics overrides it.
Yeah. You have pack tactics?
No, just like in general, whenever another person is fighting, you can sneak attack.
Oh, yes.
I call that pack tactics. I'm sorry.
Cecil has an actual feature
Pack
called pack
tactics,
tactics.
And I'm going to bonus action drink one of my few remaining potions.
All right. And
Nice.
Albus's turn.
That is 24.
What would you like to do, Yaroth? Nobody's temp health has been depleted at all.
Stay put where I am.
I think this thing's in range for your pistol. Let me recheck. Yep, just barely. Cancel.
Can you give me a recap on the dragon?
It's there. It's pinned, and it has taken effective damage from basically everything. It doesn't seem to have much immunities playing into things. Its wounds kind of manifest in weird ways. It doesn't look like it's biological. It looks like there's weird shadows inside of it that are like writhing almost. That's all you can really tell from your distance.
And nothing about where it came from.
No, actually, you feel this thing makes you feel very similarly as the strange place in the dream that you explored with everyone. Not the Cloud City, but the place underneath that, the place that had the hydraulic systems and the things that tried to drown you. You feel an unmistakable connection between this and that place. And when you look in its eyes, there's intelligence there. there's an indication that this, in the form that it is in, this is not what it always was. This is either an apotheosis of some kind that it underwent, or just a horrible aberration that had its origins in somewhere that was more human, more relatable. You feel a history behind it.
A Cyrus be like,
It didn't smash an invisible baby
yeah,
yet.
we're getting close to phase 2.
Oh no, you're there. It just hasn't initiated yet because it's not its turn.
Boy.
You beat the threshold by 2.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Virgil did no damage to that effigy. So would you like to shoot your flintlock, Albus, or are you going to refrain? It's pretty much all you can really do from your current vantage point.
Just shit for the effigy.
When does his turn begin? Or
You are the
is that
last
a
turn on the
secret?
turn order, and then it's the dragon's first turn, and then it's Cecil, and then Catherine, and then the lair action.
Okay.
Wait, huh? Oh, okay.
You could also cast Fairy Fire if you wanted. You could also, this turret on the ship, it's partially charged. It looks like it has Emolite in it. It is actually one of the few things that has reminded you of Kanan, and it looks like somebody primed it to point in the direction that it's in. You don't see anybody around it though, but you feel like if you got closer, you could probably figure out how to work it. Or if you wanted to make like an intelligence check, you could do so.
We do need to talk about something after this session.
Alright, no problem.
Where was the turret again? Because everything reloaded.
It is currently, to give you the exact dimensions, it's about 80 feet to the southwest and on the middle of the deck of the crashed ship. You could climb over the rubble and up onto the ship. It might take you a dash and an athletics check, but you are a Palturin, so you do have the move fast mode. Acrobatics could do it too. So, are you waiting for it to reload?
Okay. Um, gonna use. How far is it again?
80 feet.
80. Oh, I do have my, yeah. I can use my own bonus action, my ratio. Should work. Yeah, it should work completely without without a dash.
Without a dash. Oh yeah, cause you your movement's already 40, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. So you can just. All right. How do you book it over onto this wreckage of a ship, over to the turret? Do you just leap off the ledge you're on?
And I do have. I forget. Yeah, I should just leap off. Should be fine, I guess.
All right. So you leap off. You bound over the what little remains of the grassy field. You ricochet, not ricochet, but you leap up
I just
between
thought
different
for
portions,
everything.
and you get next to this massive turret. It's like 15 feet taller than you on a sort of a quadruped fixture that's fixed into the deck. It looks like this thing was designed to be where it is. It's on a rotor, so you can spin it around, and it looks like you can spin it a full 360 degrees, but it's locked right now with a locking mechanism. It's primed, it's thrumming with electricity, and it's soaked. If you touch this thing, it's probably going to hurt you. However,
I should be insulated because I did have that equipment.
oh, you can touch it with your arm array too,
Yep.
and it shouldn't mess it up at all. So, do you have a crafting check like under your tools? Like you can use a tool set to interact with this and roll using that.
Let me check again.
My girl, you want to play D&D?
I do. I also have thieves tools.
You can break in.
If that works.
Yeah. Um. So, roll thieves tools. This is gonna be pretty easy because it's already so far along the process.
Yeah. Roll it for me. You should know the stat.
Yep. Tools. $15. All right. So you're about to shoot this at the dragon. It starts thrumming with more and more power. The quadruped base underneath it starts to vibrate, and you just have to turn around and throw yourself to the deck, literally. Just you have your regular arms over the back of your head, and the rest of your arm array is sort of mimicking your regular arms, except over other portions of your body, just protecting you from the crazy kickback that this thing's gonna have. And you feel the ship shudder as it finally goes off, and everyone else, you see a piercing bolt of light just shoot out and impale a portion of the dragon. This deals radiant damage. $84. Nice.
Chunk.
As the light pierces through it, it was already writhing from like sources of damage. Radiant damage seems very effective. Afterwards, Albus, the turret sort of powers down a little bit, but you feel like it has enough juice to get another kick out of it, if you fiddle with it right, but it's going to be a little harder the next time. And that brings us to the dragon's turn. The drowned king. It turns its head, and as it does, Cecil and the danger plant can both feel its gaze. All of a sudden, whoosh, the shadows that are clutching your legs crystallize, and then massive blades of darkness shoot out of them at different angles. And you both take... Wow, wow. Halved to 22 piercing damage.
Okay.
You're very lucky that it took radiant damage before that went off.
Yup.
How many hit points? I mean, probably down, but how many hit points?
You can...
13. Okay, yeah. Danger plant's down.
So the danger
Poof off the
plant,
map.
the danger plant gets it gets
Explodes in
it gets
flurry of leaves.
it gets hedge trimmed.
Yep.
Just turns into a bush.
After that, this thing just struggles adamantly against the weight of the ship. It pulls and pulls, and Cecil, you can see portions of its flesh just stretching. It. You probably don't feel sympathetic, but a regular person would.
No, yeah, no. Unfortunate, but.
And what do you want to do?
Alright. So, bonus action disengage, yes.
Where do you go?
I will. I guess I can't stay.
So disengage is specifically so you can leave something's threat range without it being able to attack you.
So okay, never mind.
There's also the dodge action that makes it so whenever something tries to hit you until your next turn, it has disadvantage and you have advantage on dexterity saving throws.
That's good. I guess that's not a bonus action.
For you, it is.
I believe his is hide, dash, and disengage. Dodge is the monk one.
Well, then I'll hide? If I hide, it can't
I
hit
think
me.
it's
Oh
the
yeah,
same
you.
thing.
No, there's specifically a difference. What's it called? Cunning action 5e. All right, so roll stealth, and describe to me how you're hiding. You
Okay,
can-
that's 28. I get a nat credit.
Fuck. Okay. Just
Dash, disengage,
give me
right?
something. Give me something just reasonably hidey, and it works.
So, after that, the radiant beam actually hit the rock behind Cecil, and really conveniently, whoa! It makes a hole that is just Cecil shaped, including the wide brim hat, and he just kind of slides in Amigara full.
All right. Great. It's funny because you got the crit, and then you also got a crit fail with the advantage roll.
So,
Isn't that something?
What does a crit do for me? Nothing.
I will say since you did that so well, why not? You can unclamp Death in the West, just as part of the stealth action.
Ugh.
I'm gonna say you swing into the Cecil-shaped hole by latching Death in the West's like blade
yeah,
on the
yeah.
wall, and then just vaulting yourself in and using the momentum to
Yep.
pull it back
Alright.
up.
And I haven't used my attack or movement action, have I?
Nope.
Okay.
You've used a little bit of your movement, but you can
That's
segment
like
it
5 feet.
into however much you want.
Okay. So, I'll say that's what was that one? I moved.
Yeah,
I
that was
moved
5 feet.
diagonally. All right, so I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back into its attack range, and I am going to commit Death in the West.
Well, way to immediately crit the balance system of your weapon as you duck into a building. You pick up a bush prop and you hold it in front of you as you jump back
Basically.
out. You run over
Alright.
to another portion of its body. The shadows inside of it see you, but it doesn't. So
Cecil. Oh, do I wait? Is this an auto crit?
no, you roll with advantage,
Okay. Okay. All right.
and it procs sneak attack.
I clicked it. Just give it a sec.
No problem. I heard you click it,
Oh God.
and it crits. Anyways,
All right.
I assume you great weapon master.
Uh huh. So Cecil stares at the shadows. It just lets them know that he's looking back. I'm gonna roll for damage and then describe what happens.
Oh wow, I forgot to progress the phase.
You might want to do that.
That's a you problem. All right.
That's a nat 1.
It's a nat 1 on one of many dice.
What?
It turns red.
just because.
Yes, it turns red if any of them are ones. Comparatively, the 41 did not turn green. 4 of the rolls in the 41 were max result.
What the fuck? That's dices.
So Cecil, does this kill it? I'm just gonna ask.
I'm checking. 64, 74, 84. Nope. Watch the HP bar.
Oh damn.
There's still a little
We're
bit left. Just do it again.
We're making good progress though, considering.
It's
how slowly HP
super.
bars
It
are
hasn't
going
even
down.
really hit you guys.
Right, so it's a good thing that we're making progress on its HP.
Eric, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you guys. Also, Eric, fuck. Just fuck.
You gave
So-
Fergus death in the West.
Cecil
And a
walks over.
toaster. Well,
And
Jamal, you got
you know the
toaster.
bit? Do you know the bit that he originally hit with it that basically like severed through like half of it?
Yeah.
He puts it over the other side of that and attempts to just straight up sever it off of the drowned pig.
You manage. Wait, really?
I want to see what happens if I let him out by literally severing, like by literally cutting him open. I'm assuming that doesn't do good for him, does it?
All right.
No, wait. I haven't dropped my piece yet. I'm still holding my pawn.
I'm gonna
Um,
say that I will roll a percentile dice, and you can tell me whether high is good or bad. If you manage to do some such thing.
Fergus, like, I love them. They do the most, like, what is the coolest in this scenario. But holy shit, sometimes it's better to play. Come on, my guy.
Yes or no?
Huh?
Yes or no?
Oh, yeah,
Are you-
sure, yes.
All right. High, good or bad? You didn't say so, so I'm re-rolling. Is
Oh,
high good or bad?
I said hi.
I didn't hear it. Is high
What
good or
you said
bad?
is high, good or bad, bruh.
All right.
That is a one.
And you only say hi.
I already said hi.
Yeah,
when you
they
said
said
it the
hi.
First time.
We heard it.
Like this isn't a bit. Oh, whatever.
No,
if
hold
you
on.
wanna re-roll, you
Hold
can
on, hold on,
re-roll.
hold on.
Heard the hi.
Where is it?
Are you?
Was it canned heat?
No. It was. It was Broken Bones by CRX. It's up there. I'll
That's
just-
not the video.
What? Let me just play it. I can
Yeah, no
just
no
play it
problem.
on the
You do it and I'll skip to it.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ, you got a 100 after critting again. After getting a crit that allowed you to make the attack.
All right. So yes, good intro for Cecil.
In a way of remembering bullshit because you were on that. How often has Fergus failed?
Um,
I failed like once.
There are, within the last 10 rolls you've made, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crits.
So-
yeah. Could have been better.
the dragon is dead.
Wait, did we get the lair axe?
You bury the scythe into the other side of the of its serpentine body. You sever it, and as the two pieces separate, you take your other arm and you bury it deep in the now freed wound, the freed halves wound, and you clench your fist and you grab at the shadows and you just wrench them out. And they come. And they fall to the ground in front of you and climb up on two legs and look down at their hands and then look at you. It is an entity very similar in substance to the shadow people that were inside of this thing, but much grander, standing at 10 feet with a sickly crown of bones around the crest of its head, with fins decorating its arms, and with long, flowy, shadow-like robes. It looks at you, and it is in agony. It reaches into its shadowy, amorphous robes, and it pulls out 3 small, bone-like creations. And you hear a screeching existence, as over here, folding back into existence, is the emissary.
Oh, fun. But the Drowned King is dead?
Nope. It's right there. The dragon's dead.
Oh, I thought the dragon was the Drowned King.
Cecil pulled him out.
You know, Kara, I would agree with you, but no. Being cool always wins.
I mean, the dice are agreeing with you at the very least, right?
Yeah.
You know, maybe Fergus and I are just destined for epic intros.
Probably.
As I recall, Meserin's intro in the Steadfast View went swimmingly.
It was pretty good. Alright, your turn, Kavi.
Right.
This effigy vanishes, by the way. It's already resummoned.
Well, there appears to be a scary, ugly thing here. Appears to be scary, ugly thing there. I'm going to experimentally. Wait, how many squares is that? 1, 2. Count as on this ledge.
No problem.
I'm
This
going
this
to
isn't.
see-
It's in shotgun range.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if bullets work on this guy or not.
Are you shooting a shotgun with materia in it?
Yes.
Then it counts as magical. Roll attack.
Okay.
That misses. Sorry.
Could exert it.
You could exert it. You want to exert it?
No.
Okay. So you walk up, you cock your shotgun, and the shot just kind of you see it thud against the cloth that is its existence, and it's still kind of writhing into being, and it doesn't really seem to take notice of you. And now Cecil, Virgil, Amalia, Catherine, and Albus, everyone gets to make a charisma saving throw. Except for Amalia. Amalia and Virgil don't, actually.
Hey Eric,
What's up?
wouldn't it be really funny if I died here?
It would. It would be absolutely hilarious.
I would giggle.
And that much.
Alright. fail and fail. I'll roll
Can I
for
exert that?
Albus. Yes,
Do I want to exert that?
you want to exert
Yes.
that.
Take it from me. You want to exert that.
Albus makes it.
All right, should I?
Probably.
That was
Okay.
really close
So what is
because
the
my
exerting?
charisma is really.
What
No.
does the exerting do again?
Exerting just increases the result of your charisma save at the cost of some of your health.
Oh,
Hey. Stuart.
so like if
Yep.
Oh wait.
so if I add 5 to my charisma save or something, it takes off my 5 off my health.
Yes. And an exertion roll is your hit dice plus either your wisdom or your constitution modifier.
So the thing is, Stuart, is that if I exert myself over 5, I get an exhaustion. Could you do me a humongous solid and pass me your reroll if you have it?
I
Yeah.
don't have. I have to make it, so sure.
Thank you.
So it's your constitution plus what? Your wisdom?
1d8 plus either your constitution modifier or your wisdom modifier you choose.
Okay, I'm gonna be re-rolling off of
Oh.
generosity of Amalia. Okay, I'm gonna exert myself.
Okay. Well then, in that case,
Your exertion goes off of the 4 now.
I'm
No,
pretty
it
sure we
doesn't.
always picked.
Yeah, it
literally
does. You're
always
right.
picked
You're
the
right. You're
highest.
right. You're right. I'm just. I always forget that, and I do try to
That
kill
was
you.
the trade-off for making it not on any roll.
Yep.
okay. So I effectively have a 21.
Great. So you're fine. And-
That's also an 17.
Yeah, you're fine too. So lanterns start forming in front of your hearts until they don't. They can't seem to take hold.
Lucky us.
Can it form in front of Virgil and he's just like, piss off, you spooky shite.
No, you guys are still cursed. Amalia and Virgil never went away.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
Didn't I break the curse with the crit from last time?
With the what?
The crit.
Crit.
Oh, who else got it then? Oh right, it was Calliope and Virgil. Calliope. Wait, no, I thought Calliope.
It
Yeah,
was
Calliope
Amalia
didn't get
and
cursed.
Virgil, And Amalia broke hers because she got a crit on that.
Right. Okay. So Amalia, you do have to make a charisma save.
What?
Because she's not cursed, it's trying to recurse her.
Yes.
Oh.
Evie farted, and it is the stankiest shit I've ever smelled in my life.
Sorry for your loss.
I'm gonna put you in the living room, Evie.
Man, not Mezerin sucks. He couldn't. A little bit of oomph in this body.
All right, you're fine,
Send
Amalia.
his back.
So this is just Virgil. Great.
Oh no, it's just Virgil.
Your turn, Amalia.
Oh god.
Yeah, so Amalia sees that happen. She spins around, sees the. So in the same way that I know the drowned king is the drowned king, and I know the seraphim is the seraphim. Do I know this thing is the emissary?
No, it does not have a true name. In fact, it seems tied to the drowned king. In your knowledge of the drowned king, it almost encapsulates both of them.
Oh, so kill the drowned king and then they both go away.
There's a correlation there. That's all you get.
Albus just shoots the drowned king with the fucking giant radiant cannon and blows it out of the air. ICBM inbound.
So, but drowned king is doing something.
Oh yeah, he's super doing something.
Yeah, had the opportunity to like. Wait, why did you say it pulled out?
The drowned king was trying to get out from underneath the ship. That was its action.
Yeah, and then you said pulled 3 things out.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, it's currently in the process of pulling some things out from its coat, and just given like the fact that it's weird shadowy material, they're
Did
kind
you
of.
already describe its 3 bone things?
Oh yeah, no, it's the effigies. That's how the emissary got summoned.
Oh, it's the one with the effigies.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Oh, then we should probably.
because that's why this one right here didn't matter anymore.
Yeah, so everyone just target focused Drowned King.
Well,
You want to yell that in character, Cecil? Because Amalia can't hear that, or doesn't see that anyways.
Cecil has no idea what the effigies are.
That's fair.
Like,
Does
I would love to.
does Amalia not see this with like 17?
They do look a lot like effigies, though.
The effigies that it's holding are probably about 4 inches like large, and it's 75 feet away. Roll an intelligence check. Straight intelligence, no investigation hacks.
Hey,
Fuck. Yeah,
that's
right.
pretty good.
Yeah, you're like, it's holding some things, and that effigy disappeared, so they must be effigies. For fuck's sake.
Can I hear him from where I am?
Cecil didn't yell anything, but Amalia can.
Yeah. Guys, I think it's holding. I think the. Whatever. It's around King, and it's holding the effigies. So, maybe kill him first, and then we'll deal with Go. And in facilitation of that, Amalia is just going to form a. Effectively a fireball, but it's actually going to be a 2nd level chromatic orb. Fire, obviously. Because I can't do radiant.
A loser. Um. So you try to shoot a chromatic orb of fire, and as it's mid-transit, it is engulfed by the water that was enchanting your hands, and it turns into a murky black brine. Roll attack. Alright, roll damage. Roll another 1d12.
Disadvantage.
So it deals 21 water damage, which is just as effective as fire, but it's not what you wanted.
Does that include like an invocation on it?
You could have intoned, yeah.
Alright.
It would have converted post intonation.
So we roll
Another 6. All right, not bad. Boop. Your turn, Virgil.
I heard focus on the thing, but I can't reach that fucking thing from here. I
You're-
guess I'll have to
you're a
fucking
cat.
distract it.
You just dash, just run, just go, just leave. Just walk up
No.
and hit him.
How far is the drop?
20 feet. You're fine.
I'd be fine.
Unless you fall on your back 20 feet. That's when you would incur damage, but typically like I draw the line at 20, 25. Like if you're jumping off of something, like you guys are badass generally. You can land
You're
that
a
shit.
cat, yeah.
We're
All of you
supposed
guys have absurd dexterity. Like an 8th grader can jump 20 feet and be fine.
We are
Why
kind
do
of
I
epic.
know that you're talking about that from experience?
I mean, you're not jumping it. You're not falling out of a tower and Raker has to do monk bullshit to save your life.
How did you know I was talking from experience?
Because if I recall correctly, I knew you when you were in 8th grade.
Yeah, you did. Okay,
Okay, so I can.
And just for my
sprint
movement,
there?
Yeah, no, you can literally just get right up next to Cecil.
Cool.
What's up, Amalia?
Just from my movement, this is 30 feet, yeah?
Yes, so you will take damage if you just jump off. Especially because you only have a small amount of area to actually land on. You can't really effectively roll.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Virgil's gonna have a quick
Three.
realization.
Actually, if you went down, you could conceivably roll, but you'd have to roll acrobatics to not fuck it up. And if you failed, then use the ladder.
So,
Alright, she gets to hear them.
Okay.
the problem is the really annoying thing is that fleet of foot and cunning action are both bonus actions that increase my movement.
You have 40 feet. All you need is 80 feet. So you only have to dash once. Meaning you can use either of those and get up there.
Yeah, and they both take my bonus action.
Except one of them doesn't recharge after you stand still. So you might as well just use cunning action.
Right. So, cunning action to. And then just a tonfa straight to the face?
No, hit the effigy.
It's pretty tall.
The effigies.
Alright, so you go for the effigies in its hand. It's a called shot. Roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
That hits. Roll damage.
Damn, that's good rolls.
They're okay.
Alright,
I
so
like
you shatter one of the effigies in its hand because
Fuck off with those.
it catches your tonfa. Now, as you're running towards this thing, as you take up the offense, a flash of cold, a chill runs down your spine and along each of your limbs, and you hear in the back of your mind, "Yes! Good!"
Also, your Topfas are covered in war.
They are.
Oh yeah.
Roll an additional 1d12.
That's a little concerning all of a sudden, but I'll take it.
You should just reply with, "No, my name's Virgil."
This is Patrick. Alright, so 14 to the effigy.
Conch. Vegetable soup.
You guys hear the emissary writhe in pain on contact. And Albus's turn. You guys know what time it is.
I'd have sympathy for you, but also, fuck you.
He's
Albus responds.
Albus is gonna roll intelligence. How well does he think he can aim this thing?
Wow. Albus is a man.
He knows
He's-
everything about this thing.
Albus crits and knows exactly how to position this so as to not eviscerate Virgil and Cecil with a giant beam of light. And he also divines the most effective way to actually activate the thing, and it's with lightning / thunder damage. So he's going to cast Thunder Wave to completely charge it instead of risking it on a roll. He's pointing it at the drowned king. +16.
As this is happening, Cecil looks up and sees Virgil, and then
And a beam of light engulfs the drowned king. Dead.
womp. Okay.
Great teamwork, guys.
Cecil, upon seeing the drowned king dead, with no other threats in the area, and with no observation to anyone else around him, puts his arms
hold
up.
up. What happens to the effigies? Do they also get obliterated?
Yes.
Combat's over.
I just had to make sure.
Puts
Nope.
his arms up. What?
So Cecil.
No?
Sorry, I was saying no to Virgil.
Okay.
Cecil, as you look at these people that you
He's not looking yet.
recognize, okay, never
First
mind.
things first. Drops Death in the West as it coils back onto his back. Puts his arms up. Is like, whoa! Just very, very clearly positive about it. Like, fist in the air. Does a little jump. He's very happy. Tail wagging. Having a good time. And now you can do your stupid description.
So, as these individuals come into your field of vision, you recognize them, and each of their names match the names that were played in your head, what feels like just a few minutes ago.
And then he twists back around to the party and goes, Amalia v. Albus. Virgil. And then before he continues, walks over and attempts to wrap an arm around Virgil.
Virgil, roll history. This is DC 5.
The sad part is I can still fail it.
Oh, I know.
Still failing.
Oh my god.
And he didn't.
I mean, that was technically toggled at disadvantage. So
No, I know.
if that's an 18.
No, it's a 6.
Nah, it's the first roll.
It's a 6, buddy.
This is, you've seen the Bloodless Hunter kill many people. Or at least a few. And he knows your name, and he knows the names of your friends, and he's here, and this isn't Frederick. And that's his scythe. And it's been a very long time. But the same primal fear that his atypical rooftop whistling typically instilled in the people around strikes you.
Yeah, Virgil's going to immediately fucking like freeze for a split second and then dash the hell back to use Amalia as cover.
Some more information. The Bloodless Hunter is known for hunting down malpracticed doctors.
Do not let that guy near me. Holy shit, dude. Won't fucking do it.
So Virgil books it away from you, Cecil.
What's
That's
the
fine.
deal with you?
He puts his hands on his hips and just waits, tapping his foot into the dirt as he's just looking at the party, watching them converse.
I'm sorry, can I help you?
I mean, I believe that I helped you.
You seem to have an advantage over me when it comes to names.
I just said your name.
You get
I
an
apologize.
impulse. Sorry,
This
Dan.
isn't an invasion of privacy. I just know your names.
You get the impulse to introduce yourself as Calliope.
I'm Cecil.
Cecil.
Yes. I, regrettably, we seem to have crashed our ship. However, it's great news to,
Wait.
hmm?
Wait.
I'm waiting.
At this, Amalia's like, oh, fuck. Where's the rest of the crew?
They're scattered about. I believe most of them are in the same amount of pieces that they came in. I just very quickly, good job, everybody. You all performed amazingly, absolutely stellar. Gotta say.
He's trying to butter you up. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
I won't.
So as you're saying this, Virgil, to Amalia, Amalia has her fingers on the sending stone, and it's like, the curse is gone. Sylvia, are you there?
No response.
I can I roll up? Wait, do I? 15 passive perception doesn't get. Does that get
I
Virgil's
assume I
whispering?
assume her hands are just in her pockets.
No, I meant Virgil's whispering specifically.
I. It's
I don't think so. I think he's a bit too far still.
Okay, all good. Don't worry about it. He's just still standing there, and it's like, uh, actually, if you would be kind enough to repay the favor, could you help me look for the rest of them? I was coming here with a couple of my friends.
Well, as it so happens, I know some of them as well, so sure.
Wonderful.
I
Absolutely
mean, we're a
wonderful.
bit busy looking. What?
Catherine, you hear a little distance away just a. Oh my head, and
Roderick.
it's familiar to you. You see Roderick rise above one of the railings on the side of the deck of the ship. His forehead's covered in blood, and he's holding it. And he looks down and he says, "Who the fuck fired the cannon twice?"
I
Roderick.
drop my tonfa, and it returns to my hand, but I don't notice because I'm running in his direction.
Cat.
Master Roderick! Master Roderick!
He doesn't seem in pain anymore. He sort of like has a human version of the look that cats get when they like all their hair bristles up and their tail poofs out, but it's not one that implies like discomfort or it's more one like just shock.
It's the Ghibli thing.
Catherine.
100% the Ghibli thing. That's a good.
He fumbles a bit, but he looks around. He finds some rope and he just throws it over the side so that you have an easy time climbing up the rubble.
I climb up to him. Thank the gods you're here. I thank the gods you're alive. I'm starting to think I was the last one.
He looks like he basks in the eye contact for just a second before looking at just the ruins that the Cherus district has descended into.
He also spots.
Rudolph, but he's missing a whole lot of body parts. I don't know if he really counts.
He spots Cecil waving at him.
He just looks at Cecil. God damn it.
We did it!
Yeah, he just kind of gives you a relaxed thumbs up past Catherine before it looks like he separates himself from the things at hand and he just wraps you in a bear hug, Catherine. He's like, "Oh my god. I thought you were dead. I thought something horrible had happened to you or you were kidnapped. There are all these shady people in Canaan doing who knows what. And I'd heard of..."
Weirder than being kidnapped. But, anyway, I probably should say, like, I don't know where any of the live people of our house are, if there are any live people left aside from you and me and what's left of Rudolph.
You mentioned Rudolph. Let's get him. Let's recoup. Let's look for survivors.
Okay, would you happen to know how to regrow a tongue? Because it doesn't sound, I could try my best, but
Like a person
I'm not sure
tongue?
I'd be good at it.
Oh, and he puts two and two together and just winces. Oh.
And a hand, too. We have to regrow his hands, and I think he's also blind and deaf at the moment.
Oh, I miss Kanan. Oh, God.
Yeah, join
I
the
know. No place like it, even with the house destroyed, right?
Oh my god, Frederick! And he runs over to
Oh, Frederick!
back over to the heap that Frederick landed in,
Uh,
and like
so you sift through the rubble, and Frederick's crouching, and as you get close and close, he's like, "No, no, no, away, away!" And he starts trying to gesture you away, but it's too late, and he sighs and just rises from his crouch and says, "You're not supposed to give a man away."
give you away from.
good
from
good
who? We've
morning.
already-
Good morning, sleepyhead. How's your stay?
Shut up! Where's the interesting one? And he cranes his head around.
Yeah, about that.
Well, I mean,
The interesting one be Callie. Because he's a bit dead at the moment. Anyway, Master Roger. I was kidding.
Cecil, you see Frederick's face just fall.
Oh.
And he
Nice.
looks at you, Cecil, and he's like, my buddy I came for.
Cecil just kind of wraps him around in a hug and pats him on the back.
Ah. He just looks at the palms of his hands, like, over the crook of your shoulder, and tentatively returns the hug. He doesn't avoid the scythe at all. He just, like, the hug probably goes on a couple seconds past what two normal people would be comfortable with, but he just whispers, your scythe is glorious.
Your crossbow is pretty neat too, I guess. But also, I mean, I don't want to compliment you just because you complimented me. So, I mean, like, if this makes you uncomfortable, let me know, okay?
I mean, I wasn't gonna whisper or anything, but... And he parts, and...
Right, yes, lovely. Anyways, so...
He's
This has
he's
been
looking
an
at his
event.
hands again. No, you don't get it, my buddy. Does he got a body somewhere? He looks at Amalia.
You don't want
Yeah.
to look at it.
No, I do.
No, you don't. It caused this to
Ver-
happen.
Virgil.
Also, you're not trying to kill me, right?
Huh?
I mean, I might be.
Hey, he wasn't the one who killed Callie.
Fred,
That was
Frederick,
What?
Freddy.
What's
that
up?
was Jidek or whoever. Or the
He,
fish
he's
guy.
just whispering at you, like out of the corner of his mouth.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still looking at Amalia.
No. Yeah, they're doing the same. Like, they're doing the same thing. They're both standing forwards. but they're
Alright.
on both sides of their eyes. Don't kill Virgil yet.
I'm not gonna kill Virgil. I just want to see my buddy.
I'm really sorry about that. Still.
Fucking.
Anyways, Virgil, I have a question. I actually have a form for you to fill out. Do you by chance, when was the last time you've been to the Eshavai district? He pulls it up like a quill, and a little clipboard.
That hellhole? Years. Fuck that place. Hmm?
And where were you?
Places?
You're gonna be needing to be a little bit more specific than that.
No.
Is this really the time for bureaucracy?
Um.
Just making certain. Okay, we'll leave that blank. Very quickly, you haven't He looks down. Murder, have you? In the past 10 years.
Does
buddy.
murder by slow effects of misaligned poisons count?
We're just gonna leave that blank for now. Anyways, and then Eric, you can do your description.
So Roderick and Catherine make their way down to you, Amalia, and Roderick says, I guess we're heading back into the estate to see if we can find any survivors, and then we're gonna scope out the rest of the district from there.
Yeah, about that. This ship we're traveling on.
Unless you
Where's
have.
where's the rest of the crew?
They should be somewhere around, but I'm more concerned with the survival of my family.
Like
Last-
I said,
Last I saw the district under attack, so any extra hands would be really helpful in doing.
He looks down and then nods. That's prudent. All right, we can look for the rest of the crew. There was a hooded Noctian, an elderly woman with some tattoos, an Arium with a turret over his shoulder.
Does a 20 passive get it for smell?
Yeah, you smell all the scents of the people that were on prior.
Alright, so Cecil just is like, there's one there, and there's one there, and there's one there, and there's one... there, right there,
Dogs.
right over there.
So Cecil, you point Roderick in the direction. He's like, it looks like we've got a nose for it. And he says to Amalia, can you show me? And he just jogs over to you, Cecil. And the first one you come to is the dead form of Sylvia in the bow, drenched and electrocuted.
Oh. 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 He
Looks-
takes his hat off and puts it on his chest.
Looks like whatever crazy waterworks happened above deck also happened below deck.
Gods. Well, all right. Let's smell for the other one.
Roderick just buries his face in his hands. You find Guido
What a-
next.
What
He's
a shocking discovery.
Guido's a fair amount better,
It's also dead.
but he doesn't look great. He looks like he needs immediate medical attention, or he's going
Hey.
to die.
Buddy, I can't lift gold. Can you?
Is there? Roderick peeks his head like out of the steps leading below deck. Is one of you a doctor?
I think that's
Fuck.
you now.
Yes, come on. Fucking keep the hound away from me.
Well, who's the hound? He's a Palturin. You're a Palturin.
There's a difference.
Racist? I'm a human, and I know that's racist.
He's probably
I'm
missing.
a feline. Also known as the better ones.
Do you just not have object permanence then? And he just kind of steps out of the room.
Shut the
Can
fuck
I?
up.
Can I
Let me
flick
get
him on
my
the
gun.
nose as I walk past?
Of course, you can flick him on the nose as you walk past.
Flick him on the nose as I walk past.
All right, so Catherine and Virgil, you go up to Guido. And someone roll medicine with advantage.
Right.
All
Six in
right.
medicine.
Permit
You have-
me, because I actually have more than a 6 in medicine.
Okay.
Because it's intelligence now, because that's what makes.
Please.
So we're gonna add a +2 to this.
Yep.
Is he going to be a doctor?
I sure the fuck hope so. I'm tired of him not.
All right, Virgil. So you've actually done a fair bit of work on Ariums, which is funny because there's almost. It's not gold Ariums you've worked on; it's the iron ones. Because typically, gold Arium don't go down into the Eshivai at all, ever. Nor do they exist there for very long before being pulled apart by the more savage denizens down there. The same properties apply in a lot of different ways. You reattach some circuits in the metallic bits. You remove some just general shards that are sticking out of some of the fleshier bits. And
You know, I'm glad that Virgil's doing this, but it's really, like, thematically seems like a job for Albus. If
yeah,
it's mechanical more so,
C3PO's
well,
got a gag.
right?
well, the
That's why I'm
Arium,
helping.
Guido in specific, is only like 20% metal. Some Arium are like 80% metal.
Ah, okay.
You managed to
Oh,
piece him back together relatively well. You bandage the wounds. He's still unconscious.
oh, Eric. So I'm presuming that when I did my first sending, it didn't go through because you thought I was still under the curse at that point?
No,
Oh, okay.
she was unconscious prior to dying, and then she died.
Rip.
The anchor thing, was that what killed her?
No, the materia did.
Right, that's what I meant. the
Yes,
materia.
yes. Yeah, she took that damage.
I'm surprised there was even any of her left, then, to be honest.
Yep. Anyways, so you patch up Guido, and you find someone that only Cecil here has met so far. She introduced herself as Idea, and she is a hooded
Ooh.
Noctian. She's
Hello.
conscious, and she's glowering from the back of the room that she was in, sort of barricaded in with barrels and held in the arms of the shadow creature that was patrolling around the lift wreckage that you guys were at. And as
Knock, knock. You okay?
as you guys walk in, she looks up and says, "That was quite the racket."
Yeah.
Wasn't the day of one of the names on the urn?
Yes,
Do
yes, it was.
you say that out loud?
You don't. No one said her name out loud yet.
Yeah, okay, fair. You guys also don't know her name
Ah.
out loud.
So, we, yeah, we did it. You've got all your faculties, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm working on piecing the ship back together.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll leave you to that. Do you know what? Actually, no, you didn't.
She's sitting behind some barrels.
Awesome. Anyways, Cecil then moves. Is that everyone? Ito, Adea. No, there's one more.
You found Frederick
Yeah.
and you have Roderick.
Oh, then that's everyone.
Yep.
Awesome. So Cecil walks back out, and where is Amalia?
I guess Amalia is over by Sylvia.
All right. So he walks over to Sylvia and Amalia, and just sighs again, looking down, and then looking back up at Amalia. Hello.
Yes.
I can't help but assume you have some sense of authority.
Something like that, I suppose.
I just want you to know that as of right now, regardless of what Virgil says, I don't mean you or anyone here any harm. So,
That's great. I've lost enough of my crew today.
yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I will, I suppose I'm going to go see what I can do about the ship. And he walks past her.
As you walk past Cecil, even though that was a weird sort of first meeting experience between you and Amalia, you remember her reprimanding you several times for having gone off on your own. You remember bringing back letters and explaining how you couldn't read. You remember all the experiences Calliope had with her. You sort of feel the relationship they had. And you want to know why. Not why the relationship, like what the fuck did this to your head? What's going on?
Before that rational thought, knowing the context now of this situation and everything that came before it and after that experience, Cecil stops walking and kind of like leans on the side of the hull of the ship and like puts his thumb and forefinger over his eyes as he wipes a good amount of tears away. And just kind of like keeps it as quiet as he can, but I mean 17 passive perception, something's wrong. Anyways, he
Hey,
finishes. Yeah? Yes.
do me a favor, would you, and let the captain know I'll be coming to talk to her in a minute. I'm going back topside for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so Cecil, you managed to find your way back to Adea in one of the storage rooms.
Mhm.
She's still sitting there.
Hello, again. There's one Amalia who wishes to talk to you.
Why does she want to talk to me?
It's not. I wasn't told. It's.
She looks like she's focusing on some invisible point in the air in front of her, and she breaks this and looks up at you, and her eyebrows are kind of furrowed. She has a bad case of resting bitch face going on, or maybe more intentional bitch face. You're not sure yet. You haven't profiled her well enough. She goes, "How did she ask for me if she doesn't know my name?"
Well, she asked for the captain.
Sylvia's the captain.
She's smart enough to see the hat on Cecil's chest. I'm pretty sure she knows that that means somebody's dead.
Oh yeah, yeah, she knows.
and that
So-
she's the captain now.
So she lets the silence sit, and then she says, "Is there something you have to tell
I
me?"
am the captain now.
Yes. I believe that, well, one of yours is dead.
She slowly nods, knowingly, and then she says, "Yes. Now I have something to tell you. I am putting the ship back in working order. I don't really have time to entertain people."
I suppose you can tell her that when she inevitably comes down. Or, and then he walks away without, time for a response.
And her nose twitches and one of her eyebrows furrows, and she's like, "Fucking people that get the last word and then leave. I'm exactly that kind of person, but how dare he also be that kind of person?" That said, after you leave, you feel a presence as the shadow creature stands next to the door.
Not his problem.
So, Frederick comes to you, Catherine and Roderick, and he says, "Please tell me. Sorry. Please take me to where Calliope is." Catherine, he waves a hand in front of your face. Can you take me to the body, please?
Yes. Okay. But
And he follows you there, and as soon as he sees Calliope, he stops for a second, and then he gets probably within about 10 feet, and then drops to his knees and raises his arms to the sky, and he goes, "No! Calliope!" And he's slowly just lurching forward, and he's got his hands on the ground. He's like, "No! Why did you fucking die, you stupid bitch?" And he slams his fist on the grass, and he just slowly crawls forward and shakes Calliope's corpse's shoulder, and he's like, "Ah! I was gonna teach you my routines. You could pick up the fucking crossbow. Ah." And he stands up, and he flexes his shoulders and reorganizes his clothes and turns towards you, Catherine. You're probably still back like 20 feet away where he initially fell to his knees, and he's like, "Alright, I guess I got it out of my system until like tomorrow night. I guess we
if it
can..."
makes you feel better, I think he died quickly. He probably didn't hurt a lot.
I mean, look at him. He's a fucking pancake.
Exactly. So that must have happened. Like,
I've been pancaked. It's awful. I was lying there in agony for 2 hours before someone found me underneath the bricks. He is smiling though, so maybe. Jesus Christ.
I would be like him.
All right, are we going back, or? And Roderick's like, What about Rudolph?"
Oh, we left him with. Wait, do we leave Zavoline? Do we leave him with Zavoline in the sewer grate?
We left them. with Sav.
You left him. You left him in the treasury.
Okay. Oh, he's in the treasury. What's
Roderick
left in the
nods.
treasury?
He says, "All right, I know where that is." And Roderick starts leading you, and Frederick sort of passes you the other way, and he raises a hand, and he goes, "I'll get the others, or at least whichever ones want to fucking come." He looks at Calliope again over his shoulder, but continues. "Amalia, you're going to see Udea?"
First off, she's gonna climb up the ladder and go onto the surface of the ship.
Okay.
She's gonna pull out the materia. She's gonna hold it in her hand, and then she's gonna close her eyes and she's gonna focus on that presence that you felt going from the materia into her head.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, "You don't know what just happened. You're gonna be living in there. You're gonna be paying rent." sorry, what? That is actual voice.
What do you say?
To be fair, I wasn't. To be fair, credit where it's due, I was not expecting that voice, so. Why are you in my head?
I mean, you kicked me out of the ball.
Is that what I did?
I can't go back in.
I was just trying to make it work.
I don't think that's true. You disturbed it
Oh.
once, and I think that gave you a little bit of knowledge, and then you disturbed it again, real hard, and swoop, there I went.
And who are you when you're at home then?
What?
What's your name?
Oh no, I'm more concerned about this rent shit. What the fuck? How do you pay rent?
Well, let's put it this way. Can you get out of my head?
Not unless you have something come and kill me, but you know, I'll probably fight back.
Right, well, if you're gonna be living up there, then you're gonna have to pay your way.
Yeah, how? I don't get it. Is paying my rent not being killed?
Now, paying your rent's being useful. What can you actually do?
So I'm killed if I'm not useful.
No, I can't get rid of you, so I guess I just have to live with you. But I'll complain about it.
Oh, I love complaining.
I
I'll-
bet you.
I'll take that shit instead. But also, can you cast spells?
Yeah.
Oh, whew. Okay, great. The last one, all he fucking did was wave an anchor around. So yeah, I could probably help you then. Let me organize my thoughts, and I'll get back to you in like a day. How does that sound?
You got. Alright, you got a name?
I said let me organize my thoughts. I don't typically open with important things like that. Names are kind of a sensitive subject here.
Oh. Yeah, I think you and I are going to get on great.
He's been possessed, or she's been possessed by Christian Weston Chandler.
All right, cool. See you then. And you sort of feel the presence kind of like become this very ignorable thing.
Hey,
So Amalia has whatever the hell that has a Navi. Virgil's apparently got Spooky Boy boom.
hey, Eric,
What's
This
up?
is going to be fun, isn't it?
where does the ship keep its provisions and food?
I mean, the barrels was where Adea was. There's some more rooms like that.
I'm sniffing.
All right, you're sniff. You leave the Adea room. You go one room over, and there's oranges.
Dead ass?
Dead ass.
Alright, so if anyone comes in, they will see Cecil stuffing his pockets, bag. Basically, like, he's taking, like, what would be considered maybe half of these scurvy-reducing oranges. How many can I take without it being a literal...
I will let you have 20 oranges.
Hell yeah.
And
However, as a result, your clothes are now bulbous and unwieldy. There's no effect, but you look kind of stupid if someone's close enough to see the details.
I thought I would have a backpack or something.
Oh yeah, you can,
Or
sure,
a satchel.
yeah. But I'm
And
assuming
as
like
funny as that would be,
I'm assuming you're also putting them in all available pockets.
then okay, if that's the case, then boost the amount.
Sure, 30.
Alright, so Cecil walks out with obviously contraband of some kind stuck in his pockets and filled his bag.
Molly, are you just walking past on your way to Adea?
yeah. She just walks past takes a look and is like, eh, carries on.
All right, so you get to the door and it's open and enwreathed in shadow as a familiar face looks at you. It's the shadow creature from the lift ruins. Looks like it's scrutinizing.
Hey, big guy. I remember you. Or girl. Sorry. Don't think we got to the bottom of that.
Can't believe Amali is the captain of the ship. 'Cause
You
so
hear
sad.
with your 17 passive perception from the inside. God fucking damn it, she's talking to it. And it moves out of the way. And Dea's still sitting there with her back to the back of the room behind a couple of barrels. Looking like she's concentrating on a point in front of her. And her eyes flick to you. No more movement though.
Hi there. I'm Amalia.
She takes a good long while. And then says, "You know things that you shouldn't."
Yeah, I've been getting that a lot lately. What things in specific you're referring to?
What's he call himself? Some stupid oracle-like title is probably what it would be. Something gratuitous and self-indulgent, I'm sure. Probably doesn't shower enough. Messy gray hair.
Ah,
Yeah, his name's Lofane.
yeah, I only learned that the other day. Well, God, I said the other day. It was like 10 minutes ago. But, you know, that was shortly before I rammed an anchor for the guy who said it, so...
You know, you're going to need this ship if you're going to run from the Eleusians. And I think you're going to be running from the Eleusians until either you or that entire family is dead.
Well... So what you're saying is there's not a whole lot of chance they'll just write off Jaidet and call it a day.
There were two relatively prevalent members in the Cherus district. Jidect was the much more obvious, but the other one, who also spent some time in Canaan, should have been back by now. He goes by a more similarly gratuitous naming convention. I don't know what it is with these men, but Razorface? Seen him around?
Now that's trying too hard.
So there is about a 5-second period where it looks like Amalia is thinking about this. And then
Dea smiles.
sorry. Fucking what?
Like I said, it is up to us to stop these buffoons. Unfortunately, despite his stupid fucking opinion of himself, he is pretty capable. Pretty discreet too. Pretty quiet, efficient, effective, and ruthless. Especially when it comes to guarding the secrets of the Eleusian.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that. So that thing outside, the big ass dragon. I got a pretty good impression that its real name is
She holds up a finger. She says, "Do not." under any circumstance, even don't do what you're about to do. I will not be compromised. You must be very, very careful with the things you say in relation to the things you know, and you know a lot. More than you think you do.
It doesn't fit any of the conventions.
She shakes her head. It shouldn't. They're wrong. Or at least incomplete. But that doesn't matter to them. All that matters to them is the presence. Them, I am referring to the Eleusians. I think the Hierarchons, the two leaders, I think they know that they're getting it wrong. And that's why they are... Well, that's why they've been closed off. Don't really know anything more than that, really. And trying to get an aerial perspective hasn't worked out so far. Either way, let's get back to the point. You need the ship.
I don't really have much of an intention from here.
Good girl. You're a good girl. You're
Don't get me wrong. If you'd approached me with a ship about a couple of days back, I would gone. But she nods in the general direction of the district. Why do I get the feeling I have our friends to thank for what went down in Cheru's district?
By friends, do you mean the Eleusians?
Yeah.
She shakes her head very subtly and says, they, while thinking they know enough, while thinking they may be participating in a grander scheme of things, are not as significant as they would make themselves out to be. This other group, the one Frederick comes from, he's the one I'm most curious about. They're not just here. This district, the Cherus, is one of many epicenters. We happen to be at the heart of one that, well, just happened relativistically moments ago. I'm sure you've seen another one. Cirque?
Yeah. Burned from the inside out.
There have been a
Oh, hey,
few
that's-
there have been a few in Canaan as well.
Whereabouts in Canaan?
The Tyrannus Fief. You know the Tyrannus Fief is it's basically it's New York City of Canaan. Except it's also Washington DC.
I just realized that that's a foreshadowing of the boss. What's that?
Uh,
Fire one or
he
what?
nods. The islands are safe?
She shakes her head. No, there is a massive obelisk hovering in the air above the wreckage of the Tyrannus, and it is being guarded by an old god. One that nobody really assumed would be involved with something like this.
ah.
Are you familiar with the name Mercus?
Oh,
Am I?
Don't think so.
No. Doesn't ring a bell. That must be a real one.
Well, the reason I came up here in the first place was... Well, there were a couple. Some pieces I would hope were going to fall into place, and some that fell in a way that I didn't predict. But mostly, there's a particular blacksmith of note that's been in this region for probably a month or two.
Blacksmith?
She nods. His name's Kane.
dun, dun, dun.
That's my agenda. What's yours?
So before the day, I would have said it would be to get back to Canaan. And I'm starting to think that's not much of an option.
I don't see
Yep.
why not.
Because whatever's going down here
He's also going down there.
is also going down there. I'm not as worried we're back there as I am here. They are woefully unprepared. Hell, I'd say some of them are even contributing to what's going down here.
I fear you place a little too much faith in your homeland. A little too much faith in their incongruous. Let me make sure that's the right word. 1 second. Placing too much faith in their congruity. The Tenebrae sows discord, and it sows it exceptionally well.
At that, she's going to look up. How much do you know about how this plane seems to be an alternate ours?
She just sighs and smiles again and says, I've got basically nothing.
Neither do I. When I walked out of my house in Canaan, I went to a strange realm where I met. She nods to the door outside. From there, when we came out of there, here we are.
You walked out of a door in Canaan. Can I ask you a question? You may not be able to answer it, but might as well. She's waiting for a response.
Sure, go ahead.
Why does he say you're a different color? And she nods very subtly towards the shadow creature to your left. You and the people you're with. Not the same color as anybody else. Not a color he's ever seen before. Why are you different?
I think it has to do with. We don't have a name for it yet. That in between realm I talked
God
about.
there's coming.
Seem to go there when we sleep, or at least a mental projection, because I'm not entirely certain. Mechanic. While we were there, we explored a city in ruins. Seems that whatever happens in this dimension and what happens there have an effect on one another. Those creatures came from that realm.
Before we talk further, I think it would be best to have everyone present. I'm going to complete repairs. She sighs and refixates her gaze in front of her. And then, after a second, she just says, "Thank you. No hard feelings about Sylvia."
I wish it could have been different. But as I'm finding more and more these days, wishing isn't doing much.
And then afterwards, you hear from outside Frederick yell, "Hey guys! Roderick said I should bring us all over to Calliope."
Amalia gets up does suffer.
Hey, Cecil.
Huh? Yeah, but yes, yeah, hi.
Yeah,
Pops is.
he approaches and he looks a little somber and he says, "Can you come along?"
I don't see why not. Sure. Yeah, yeah. Where's Virgil?
He's this way. Come on.
Okay.
And he just starts
Uh,
sullenly leading you guys back to Calliope.
as just before she goes, Amalia turns around and says, "Oh, as I introduce myself, what's your name?"
You can call me Silverblood.
Silverblood, huh? I think I knew a Silver Fae once.
She she's gonna roll a con save.
Just falls over.
No, yeah, that hits her like a weapon would have. She, you realize she was hovering very slightly off the ground. You hear her thunk to the ground and just like hit the wall behind her. Her eyes are wide. And she looks at you and she's like, "Where the fuck did you hear that name?"
So in the Cheros district, there's a small alcove. It's a makeshift graveyard. Down the bottom, there are some old urns.
You found Zavoim? Or his? You found? She stammers a bit.
She nods.
Why isn't he with you? Is he? Don't tell me.
He's tending to a wounded friend.
Oh, she sighs. Fuck. God. Now I have to start over. Alright, well, bring him too. Then she refixates her gaze in front of her. Silver blood, not Fae.
Don't worry. I've got a memory for names.
Alright, and we skip to first Virgil and Catherine as they were being corralled, or they were corralling Roderick rather, back to where Rudolph is, and as you approach the treasury, the door is agape. Not as you left it.
If the blind and deaf one tried to fucking...
One of his legs was a splint, so.
Blind and deaf and armless one.
Right? Weirder shit's happened, wouldn't you agree?
You guys move into the treasury, and there, resting against the wall, is a completely whole Rudolph, and next to him is a completely whole Abraxi, reading to him out of a cookbook.
Virgil, that is tough. How many times we got
Don't you dare! Don't you dare, okay? Not even if he has plants growing in his brain.
The two look at you. Rudolph looks pretty shaken, and Abraxi stands up and walks over and goes, "Oh, hello there. Something very bad seems to have happened here, and this poor young child is quite stricken with it. I've been doing my best to calm him down, but could you explain things? What's going on?"
Just 1 second. I'll be right back.
No problem. Well, you're going to say something?
A lot less stricken than he was the last time we saw him.
Oh,
What do you mean stricken?
look at him. Look how scared he looks. Rudolph does indeed look scared, and he just kind of like looks up and squeaks, "What's going on? Why is everything on fire?
Oh,
Very
This
good
fucking
question.
senile old
So many
man is
questions.
reading me garlic recipes, and I don't want to leave because there's corpses."
it's
Garlic
okay.
recipes?
I found Roderick. So
Roderick's back.
right. So now
Roderick.
that's at least 3 of us alive.
Roderick looks really confused. He looks down at you and he whispers really quietly, "Catherine, I thought you said he was horribly maimed."
Was
He looks fine.
scared of me.
Hey, Rudolph. Yeah.
Are you? Was there a blue man who gave you medicine?
A blue man?
Yeah.
What?
You were a bit sick the last time I saw you, so I was just wondering if
I
he's been the one who was giving you medical treatment.
The last time I saw you was before wasn't that when? Yeah, that was before I went to the sauna with Calliope. I wasn't sick.
Oh, you weren't awake. You were sleeping.
He looks at you confused. Did you come into my room?
No. He was giving you medicine because you were sick, but you were sleeping because you hadn't woken up because you were sick. But now you're awake, so everything.
Did I go in a coma?
For a bit.
He just shakes his head aghast and roll deception. If you want to back this up with some lies of your own, Virgil, you can give her
Virgil is
advantage.
too
Never
good to
mind.
like
He just looks at Abraxy, and Abraxy's like, "I guess," and he's like, huh. "Hits you when you least expect it, I guess." Also, really convenient thing for me to sleep through.
Well, I mean, you were able to be woken up. You wouldn't be sick, would you?
And then at this moment, everyone else walks in.
Cecil, you don't mind if Cecil just like slides in first, though, right?
Of course not.
Okay. So Cecil kind of sidles over specifically to Virgil. I'll give him a second to react before I say that.
Virgil is actually too busy staring at Abraxia. It's that fucking mathematician.
He just
thing
doesn't
thing.
notice.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I don't even have to roll stealth. He, during this moment, clasps an arm around Virgil's shoulder like he wanted to the first time. Possibly breaking him out of his trance. Say, Virgil. So, I know you probably are a little wary of me due to my reputation, but what do I have? Oh, right, yes, I wanted to give you this as a token of amicability. And he takes an orange out of his coat pocket, revealing like another 12 oranges in that one pocket, and just kind of hands it to Virgil with like an awkward smile.
Oh, you love oranges, Virgil.
Of course, everyone fucking loves oranges.
In fact,
Who
you could
doesn't love
probably
orange?
use a couple of these slices for some of that candy flavoring.
Yeah. Like, Virgil just kind of absent-minded. It's clear he doesn't. He just sees food being offered to him by someone, so he just kind of takes it, kills it, starts chomping it, looking at Abraxi like he wants to fucking kill him for a third time. For science.
Well,
I got it! He suddenly says.
And Braxy looks at you.
Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Aha! He holds up Abraxi's own brain.
Braxy looks at you, and he's like, "Why do you collect those?" Do you have,
Why do you collect those?
do you have more than one? He sort of looks at it sideways.
Cecil checks something off his list.
Aha! It works for Minnow.
I Virgil, that's a brain.
Oh, wait,
Joe,
no, this
I don't
isn't.
think he knows.
Aha! He pulls out the unknown plant hybrid goop.
Braxy just yells, "You do collect them!"
Amalia, why isn't this working?
Virgil, you might have been trying to take something out of the bag that wasn't those two things. I do that sometimes here.
Yeah,
If-
maybe you should try again, Virgil.
I would like to make a contested roll to pull something out of his bag at random. Unless you don't want to contest that.
I mean, he's currently funneling through it, so you'd have to, like,
You just
scoot
sleight of,
through it.
yeah,
with
can I
him.
just sleight of hand it? Just-
Yeah, you can try to sleight of hand it.
Okay. 24?
Virtual can beat that.
Alright. Wait, can or can't?
Ooh, close.
Oh, so
Very
close.
close. So,
There's a bunch of fucking organs.
can he just like wrap his hand around and grab one of the candies?
Yeah, he's got a bag full of candies.
Alright, he pulls the bag
Stores
out.
them in the same place as the organs.
They're
He
all
pulls the bag-
jarred.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
they're fine.
pulls the bag out and it's like he meant to take these out. This'll help. What's the situation?
Roderick looks at you, Catherine, just says, "I see you found your people."
Right. Okay, one for you. And
I'll tell you
so
about it.
just to stall, Cecil starts handing out one each candy to everybody.
Roderick and
including, like,
Abraxy
party
are the
members.
first to hold their hands out.
Yeah. Okay, he gives those and then gives one to Rudolph and then passes it around to everybody in the room.
Rudolph is just he's like, "Ah! What the fuck?"
Does he take it?
Yeah, you know, he's like, "Ah! What the fuck?"
Good. All right. Now that we've all had something sweet, now let's discuss what we need to do to in order to
Yeah, sure. Hey, why don't you guys have a little word with Rudolph and Mr. Abraxy here? Frederick,
What's up?
can I have a little word with you outside?
Oh. He looks at you, Cecil, gives a couple eyebrow raises and smiles and says, "Sure, Amalia," and then he saunters out of the room.
And
Cecil's ears twitching. He doesn't understand what he meant at all.
What's up?
what the fuck is going on in there?
He shrugs. I don't know. I assume this shit is why Minnow was studying the dude. That's wild.
Yeah, it happened to Minnow as well.
I mean, wait, wasn't Rudolph horribly fucked up? Like
Yes, he
last you guys had
was.
said, like I heard distinctly, just curse my hearing. Catherine said like she needed a tongue from Roderick. He's talking fine. I don't even see any.
Yeah, when we left, he was blind, deaf, had no tongue. One of his arms was taken off. His leg was in a splint.
All right. I'm no scientist, but if we look at the common variables, we got our old guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's weird, and none of us are scientists, so I suggest we tag him along until we find one.
Hey, there's something else I'd actually like to show you. Won't take a minute. And Amalia is going to lead them back into the house and to the Frederick corpse, or where the corpse
Oh,
was.
you're leading him?
Yeah.
All right. He walks with you, and he's like, "So, oh shit, fuck! I was just being sad about. Wow, I feel like a dick now. That really threw me for a loop. Holy crap! Ooh, what's this place?" And you lead him up, and he's like, "Oh my god, what fucking crawl spaces? I didn't even know half of these were here. Ooh, oh, yeah, they got one. They got one good. Nice." He inspects some of the wounds on the corpse, Are we taking this with us? Oh, tell me, this is for an experiment for the old guy, right?
Yeah, don't think it's weird that it has your face.
It has what? And then he looks at its face. Oh my god, it has my face! What the hell? And he bends down and he like stretches the skin. He's like, these are fucking incision marks! What were these psychopaths doing? And he pulls at the cheeks. And then he
Hey.
just gives you a look of terror. What the fuck,
Hey.
Amalia? How long did you know about this?
Only when I found this guy about, fuck, how long ago was that?
Not
Feels
even
week.
an hour.
Like 20
An
minutes.
hour, an hour ago? There's more of them out front if you want to look at them too.
What? Is this why they wore fucking masks? Is this what I wore? He just... Well, shit. You know what? Fuck experiments. And he kicks the corpse. We're leaving this bitch here.
I hope you don't mind if I just, she's gonna just a quick check across his face to see if there's any, like, surgical marks in there.
Hey, what are you doing? No, there's not.
Oh, okay. You don't have those marks on you, so, you know, you could be the original.
The fuck do you mean could be?
I don't know how this shit
I'm
works.
regular! He takes your shoulders and shakes you. And by the way, usually, you have to take me on a date first, alright?
Which one?
Alright, that's... Shut up. I'm clearly having an identity crisis here. I mean, I knew I was cool. They fucking told me I was in their good grace. I didn't know they did this shit. And he just gestures a hand at the Frederick clone. What the fuck?
Hey,
So, you really don't have any idea how, like, they're coming back to life? Because they're talking about it. They're talking about it as if it's just a natural thing for them to, like, poof back.
He just looks at you. That was not on my itinerary.
So they stole your face and they didn't even give you, like, the secret to coming back to life?
He just looks at a downward angle with his hands on his hips, just clearly aghast. I almost kind of wish you hadn't showed me this. But you know what? You have given me a life goal. And he rubs his hands together in front of him. I'm gonna kill every single one of those fuck bastards. Jesus! Whoo! back to the treasury? I don't like this
Yeah.
place. I'm hunched over. There's a me right there. I'm getting out of here. And he just sets off down the ladder.
hey Eric. can
What's
you
up?
then Smash cut.
Uh,
My
Is
bad.
is he still wearing, like, the same outfit?
Frederick?
Yeah.
As the clone?
Just in general, is he wearing, like, the cult outfit?
Yeah, he's made some differentiations to it that I haven't described, but he's clearly done what is like the equivalent of a middle schooler, just altering their clothes so that they're outside of the norm, but he's basically still wearing the outfit, yeah.
Hey, buddy, one more thing.
What?
So these guys, she points towards the dead Frederick.
He's
They're
going down
kinda-
the ladder. He
The
can't see.
Dedrick.
They're kind of responsible for, like, a lot of dead people around here.
You hear him pause on the ladder. So am I.
Yeah. Maybe we should do something so you're not, like, recognized by half the town folk as the same guys who, like, murdered half of them.
He pauses and just waits for a good solid 10-15 seconds before saying, "Wait! Fuck! No! Why do these guys have to have such a good fashion sense? Fine, we'll figure that out." And he continues.
All right.
If it makes you feel better, you sold it well.
Thank you. And smash cut to Cecil.
Is this guy?
Smash cut to Cecil, saying, "Hey, Virgil, can I talk to you outside for a second in the exact same fashion? Like maybe 30, no, not even, like 10 seconds after it happens to Amalia and Frederick."
Frankly, I'm afraid of being alone with you.
I'll come, Roderick says.
That's
No
fine.
objections?
No
Great.
objections. Come on. Grabs him around the shoulder and just carries him out. Why the fuck are you sending? Why are you showing brains in front of a child? Not everyone's from the Eshivai.
Not everyone's from the Eshivai.
That doesn't make
it.
much. Okay.
Okay.
Can I
okay,
make a?
okay.
Can I make a? Can I make a roll to smack him?
I kind of just like. Is it okay if he smacks you, Carol?
It doesn't do any damage.
It's okay if you just like a gentle like even a smack on like the lips, be like shut up.
Yeah, sure. It's nothing. It's not like a full Noah Bright smack across the mouth that like knocks your
Yeah.
head back.
I'm a little sad, but
I wish it was. Don't get me wrong. But I'll take what I can get. So smacks Virgil. No. You have to care. I'm here, and if you do not care, he taps the scythe on his back. I have an obligation to fulfill. So if you would like to be compliant, I would appreciate it.
this all immediately makes sense. This guy's been hunting you, Virgil. And you have no idea why he's talking to you and not doing the whistle, whistle, snip, snip.
Okay, forgive me for being bold here, but your obligation and you're not obligating?
We met in extremely favorable circumstances, and frankly, I am sick of killing people. So, I'm trying to find whatever reason I can to not behead you in front of the child.
Oh. You know I grew up in that side.
That's the exact reason why I have been hunting you and attempting to behead you for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, however many years you've still been alive ever since you hit, what, puberty?
And how many and why haven't you done it yet?
Because you left. I didn't know where you were.
Must
And
not
then
be
I see you.
perspective.
Oh, I don't have a boat.
Anyways, to make
Monster
an
sent it to seawater.
incredibly long story short, has come back to life twice after I've done brain
You're cutting out. Just a little bit. I think if you talk closer to your mic, it'll be fine.
The old guy in there has been brought back to life twice. After I've cut his brains out twice.
Okay, that's great, but just not in
Hear
front
me
of
out,
the kid.
I'm not done. Minnow, his weird grandson, terrorist, assistant, bitch person I don't see more, and Abraxy both dropped dead whenever Amalia showed them the previous confrontation of their, like, previous life, I guess? I don't know. It's complicated. It's confusing. Quite frankly, put his skull again and find out what makes it work. And I was hoping to fucking actually do it because I have these.
Yes, I'm aware.
And they're from him.
But the
So it should
kid,
have triggered the same response as Minnow.
but the kid is clearly already traumatized by everything that's been going on around him. Wouldn't it just
I'm traumatized. You're traumatized. Everyone in Nazareth's traumatized. Who gives a shit?
Roderick's just standing there like, hey,
Can I?
I'm gonna
No,
go.
no, no. Before... Oh yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go hang out with Catherine again.
He
You-
huffs. Can I sleight of hand and just take the orange back?
You can again try.
All right. Give me that.
14-13. He wins.
Yep.
And then he walks back inside, and like, is Rudolph sitting or standing?
He's standing now, and Abraxy's got him up, and Roger.
Stands next to Rudolph.
Hey, are you one of Virgil's friends?
No.
His eyebrows just furrow a little bit. One of Amalia's friends?
Yeah.
Oh, that explains why you're not one of Virgil's friends. And Roderick just sighs and he's like, as soon as Amalia gets back, we're going back to the boat.
Yep. Wow, it has been an eventful day. Rudolph, from what I've heard, that's your name, right?
Yeah. He shakes his head a little bit. Sorry, just a little dazed. Excuse me. And he sort of picks up some of his bags and holds out his hand to shake yours, and he says, my name is Rudolph Thompson Atzenale. I'm, trying to follow in the footsteps of my dad, who was one of the chief investigators here. I do my best. And he grins.
That is very admirable. If I had that kind of drive when I was a kid. And he takes his glove off, shakes his hand. I'm Cecil. Would you like an orange?
Is that what all those bulges are?
Yeah.
Oh, Cecil.
Huh?
The orange was already half eaten.
He took it back.
Yeah, but it was half eaten before.
Yeah, he's-
so he's
all
got
right.
half an orange.
I'm
And
gonna-
Virgil
I'm-
doesn't even like peel them. He just like chomps into the whole thing like an animal.
Oh yeah, everyone does.
He, Rudolph just rolls around the hard candy to the front of his mouth and holds it in front of his teeth with his tongue, and then slides it back in. And he's like, "No thanks, I already got a snack. I'll
Okay.
hit you if I'm interested though.
Yeah, of course. I've got like I've got
Yeah,
like 28
yeah.
of them.
Quite the supply. Some people investigate, some people hoard vitamin C.
I mean, yeah.
No, I get it. It's hard to come by. There's
no save for scurvy.
precious little sweets here in Nartzi.
Wait, what's vitamin C?
So, as it turns out, oranges are actually really important, especially for when you're going on long stretches of travel, because
Really?
yeah, there's certain things in particularly sugary fruits like that where if you go too long without some of the things in them, the thing that's relatively prevalent that I'm talking about, vitamin C, you'll get a nasty gum disease called scurvy.
That
But
sounds awful.
oh yeah, no, I'm sure you've never had to deal with it, seeing as how he just looks at the pockets, seeing as how you always. Do you always carry around oranges?
Oh no, I took these without asking.
He blinks, and he's like, "All right, I'm about ready to figure out what happened while I was in a coma."
Oh, well, I can try and catch you up to speed.
Roderick
then-
just sighs and says, "On the way back, I can see Amalia coming."
Okay, Cliff Notes. There were some very bad people, and those bad people started to set things on fire. That was bad. Then he's clearly talking to Rudolph like a 3-year-old.
Yeah, Roderick, like a very, very tired substitute teacher, just does his best to herald everybody outside. Amalia, you and Frederick reconvene with them.
Okay, 1 second. And then those bad people got killed, and the biggest of the bad people got killed by me. So, it smells very bad outside, so you might want to plug your nose. And he mimics the little nose plugging gesture with his thumb and forefinger.
Yeah, Rudolph seems a lot more somber now. You guys all reconvene. Anybody want to go check for Zavoim?
Can I smell him?
No.
smell old.
I smell. I smell. I smell.
I smell Alzheimer's.
So, Rudolph, when you woke up here, you didn't happen to see oh god, what's your name for Dragonborn?
Iscardian demons.
Would I know them as Dragonborn?
You would know them as Iscardian demons.
You didn't happen to see an Asgardian demon around here?
No.
No.
Oh yes, you guys.
That is weird. 1 second. And how far?
So Amalia, you didn't see him go into the treasury. You saw him go into the building that was where the battlefield was, which was a different building.
Yeah. It's gonna head in that direction then. I was gonna head for the graveyard, but yeah, I guess I'll go.
All right, Cecil follows.
All right, so you and I'm gonna say it's you and Cecil. Make your way over to that building, and you open. And the door's kind of broken. You don't really have to open anything. You just got to step over some rubble. The interior is just broken and collapsed, in much the same way the usher for the tavern's house was after you cast a shatter on it. And you see Zavoim. He's combing through some things. It looks like he's foraging, and you realize that this place has quite a bit of shelves, and with the shelves are books and some potions and scrolls. And he's
Knock, knock, knock. Hello.
pulling them all into basically a big Santa sack. And he looks up, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, He straightens up. "Hello, Amalia," and he squints.
Cecil.
Cecil.
Don't compare me to him, please.
Sorry. Nice to meet you. Where'd you pick him up?
We picked him up when we killed the dragon.
Oh, good work.
Wow.
So, that's an amazing job you did with Rudolph.
What?
How he's, not horribly crippled now.
He squints. I don't know what you're talking about. He was
Oh,
asleep.
he's all fixed up. No, yeah, he's full. He's all healed up. He's not broken or dead or bleeding.
He looks
he's
at
quite fine.
he looks at Cecil and he's like, "Yes, I was under the impression that Catherine and Virgil did a good job."
Oh, we found him like that.
No, he's like... It's like he's never been injured.
He squints again. His eyes have just been a bunch of squinting and unsquinting and
I just imagining a dragon version of Hannibal Buress at this point.
Yeah, he cocks his head and he's like, "Is he with you?"
Yeah, he's back with the rest of them.
And he comes outside.
Oh, and there's an old man here who has revived from the dead twice now.
Zavoim's mouth opens and then closes, and he says,
Yeah.
"Ah."
So it's not just me thinking this, is breaking the rules real hard.
Wait, that one dies and comes back again? He points at the old man.
Twice now.
Do you think that he would come back a third time?
Somewhere, Virgil's. That was what he was trying to do.
I am struggling to find the words to express how much I don't want to watch the old man die for a third time.
I'm not going to kill him, of course. I just know that
I'll have Virgil do it.
a friend of yours wants to very badly. I was just wondering if... So, I mean, if it's not a permanent
Well,
thing, then I don't see
like-
the harm in it, I suppose, as long as it's away from everyone.
It's the... Wow. A whole lot to unpack in that sentence.
Abraxy just looks over and waves.
Hi! Cecil waves back. I mean, if he's fine.
Zavoim shakes his head and he's like, "No, absolutely not. No murder. Especially not of old people."
Oh, right, yes, I suppose that would be quite a sore topic for you.
I will pour acid in your eyes, dog.
Oh, I didn't mean that as a bad thing. I just meant that you're old and that could be a sore spot for old people. I didn't. Ah,
My
Yeah,
knees
what-
are fine.
well, here, to make up for it, he pulls an orange out and passes it to Savoine.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you peel it. You open it like this. Look.
No, yeah, actually, it's been a while. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
He eats the orange. Seems like he really took that truce. No harm, no foul. Sorry for calling you dog.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry for calling you old.
Just while we're on the topic, I met Silverblood.
Ah, good old Asalia. She's a clever one.
Yeah, I figured. Then, how many names are you going around with?
Her? Well, she takes quite a bit after Aethan era, so I think she's at 5.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like a very interesting character you're talking about, but I am going to go converse with the rest of the group. Have a lovely conversation.
Roderick just wipes his hand over his forehead and says, "We have a ship to get back to."
Yes,
Wait,
the ship.
Wait, dude. Hey, Rudolph, can you come here for a second?
Rudolph just looks around and is like, "Ship? We're landlocked!"
The flying ship.
Ah! What?
What are we going to do about the body in the ship? Should we get rid of that? I don't really want to.
I assumed Amalia took Sylvia out of the ship.
I just imagine she walked and stepped over it.
Oh yeah, she said that she was with the body
Oh, my
outside
bad.
the ship at some point,
Right,
so I
right,
was just
right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely, yes.
So,
Yes.
any more scenes anyone wants?
What role
Had
would
some.
it
I'm
be?
trying to remember. I thought I had some. Now I can't remember.
I'm sorry.
There's Roderick, there's Rudolph you could talk to, there's Virgil you could talk to, there's Abraxi you could talk to, there's
I mean, does telling Roderick what happened, is that its own scene, or is it assumed that I?
I'm assuming you guys explain, you catch everybody here up to speed.
Okay.
What role is it to dig a hole?
You can just do that.
Alright, how many... Okay, well, is there a role to dig multiple holes in a short span of time?
Athletics.
Alright,
But you guys are explaining this on the way back.
okay, so 14. No, yeah, but like, Cecil just bounced mid-seminar.
Okay.
So that'll leave me with how many holes? Approximately 6 feet.
6 foot holes?
Maybe not 6 foot, maybe shallower, maybe like 3 feet.
Probably like 2 or 3.
Alright. 3? Alright. So, takes Sylvia's body, Calliope's body,
Oh.
and who just one of the black hats for symbolism's sake,
Alright.
and he's clearly struggling. He's not actually all that strong.
Frederick's gonna help you.
All right, cool. Nothing's really exchanged unless Frederick says something.
He's helping you because he already knows all the shit that's being talked about.
Cool. But yeah, Cecil.
And when you start to go to the black hat, he stops you and he's like, "I don't think that's a person."
I mean, what?
He crouches down and he pulls the mask down. Yeah.
Oh.
He
Oh.
shows an incision mark and then he shows the same part of him and there's clearly not an incision mark. And he just kind of like gives you a look like, yeah, I just found out about this shit. I don't know what this is, but
Oh.
I'm not really obliged to give it dignity. How about her? And he points to Injamiel.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Oh, looks like her horse is fine too. And he walks the horse over. Anybody want a horse?
Drags Angelio's body into the hole.
So,
Carries it.
like, for everything else you've seen, Amalia has just been, like, carefully fine with it. She looks at this horse and is like, I never actually ridden a horse.
Frederick looks at you. Well, I don't think most people have. There's not a lot of onus to travel around here. Oh, right! You're from that other place. Is it common for people to ride horses down there?
Not on islands.
Well, I guess. Thank you for your confession regardless. Can I have the horse?
Sure.
Hell yeah! Frederick swings up into the saddle, and the horse just neighs like frightfully, and he's like, "Oh, shush, your girl, shush, your girl." He fucking leans back and checks between its legs. He's like, "Yep, that's a girl." And the horse just seems like, "Bro," and he's like, "Ah, fine," and he gets off. Doesn't like me.
So passing.
Did all of this to Sylvia's body? Because Virgil's a horrible person?
They are buried.
Buried already?
Yep.
Yeah.
Could I have gotten to it before he did that?
You could have, but you never said you were.
Well, everyone kept talking.
He acted first.
Also,
I know what I wanted.
just as a thing, like, normally she'll just throttle you, but if Amalia catches you doing anything with Sylvia's body, she will actually kill you.
I believe
Anyways.
it.
Cecil and Amalia are gonna do a fucking assist call, 100-0 fighting game combo on you.
Jishala, what were you going to say?
I thought of what I want to talk to. What do you want to talk to Roderick about?
All right, what's up? You pull Roderick to the side at some point, and we'll say it's while like introductions are being had and explanations are going around. Hey, what's
What
up?
are we going to do from here?
Well,
There's much house left.
yeah. I mean, Amalia said that we're gonna be talking about some stuff back at the ship with Adea.
Everything that you have to say, you're comfortable saying in front of Adea?
He cranes his neck and he says, "Well,
Why does that name sound familiar? Comes to me.
he squints. Not sure. Doesn't sound very familiar to me. I think there's some things I'll just keep between us, but..." And he pulls out a bundle of cloth. I don't think... This ring any bells? And he unfolds it, and it is the... It's the thing that you interacted with before you got pulled into the dream.
It's the flute, the one that only I could see, remember?
Yeah, except... I mean, now apparently everyone can.
Oh.
And he rolls it back up. There's definitely a lot of mysteries here, and as for what we're going to do now, I think we're going to have to reach a group decision. As for the Atzenales, I think I'll be thinking up a new last name for myself.
Just go back to, like, Rodson. If Jayshala's middle name is her last name, is her former last name. This is complicated, actually.
Well, she still cares about the Atzenel family, is why she posed the question. That said, this is definitely not a bunch of loose threads that I'm planning on leaving laid bare.
I'll go with you then.
I have no idea what the hell's going on with any of this. And frankly, it's terrifying. But somebody's got to take care of things, right? how have you been getting by?
Um, I've been hanging out with, gang of idiots you met. Well, Virgil's not an idiot. Virgil is a very fascinating person. Very into knowledge and medicine.
He's just looking at Virgil as you're saying this, and he looks back and he says, "You know, of course he'd be your favorite."
So, curious about things. Unlike so many people.
I think I'll just stick to Rudolph. And he gives you a little bit of a smile. That kid needs someone
Alright.
looking after him. Either way, I'm both pleased and impressed to hear that you've held your own in my absence. To be honest, I was a little worried. I'm kind of used to playing watchdog for you. So, seeing you out and about, especially in a situation like this, come through the other side unscathed, consider me impressed.
I'm honored, Master Roderick.
Yeah, well, just don't take it the wrong way if I want to come compare notes with you sometime.
Always. Oh, and look at these. Look what I found growing in the field. Not too far from here.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even know that was in season.
Yeah. And
I
can see
actually, I have some of this if you, some
Oh,
spare.
thank you.
And he's gonna hand you some frost bulb. FROSTB Welby. Alchemists, man. Alright, and you guys get back to the boat. You guys get back to the boat, and Idea, Silverblood, whatever she's calling herself in that specific moment, is standing over a dais that is floating magically and revolving with glowing runes at the helm of the ship. And by helm, I mean the place in the back where the wheel normally is. The wheel is not there. Instead, there's this hovering platform, this rotating circular platform notched in the same way that the ship's wheel ordinarily would be, except it's horizontal. And on it is a map. The map is not rotating. The map is magical. And it is of the known world.
Ah, this map here.
Adea looks at all of you gathered. She beckons Amalia up to the front.
Mario goes up.
And then she replaces Amalia in the crowd and says, "Alright. From the top with the colors." And she smiles. And I think that is that alright if we leave off there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good. However long our session.
I think we started
Sorry.
Crud.